Deep beneath the fetid waters of the Lake of Rot, past the grand cloister, where pale servants of a sealed god kneel in eternal worship, lies one of the most enigmatic and terrifying entities in all of Elden Ring. A malformed star born in the lightless void, far away, Astel, natural born of the void, stands as a testament to cosmic horror made manifest. This strange alien life form is comprised of many colored star debris, which landed in the lands between long ago, yet its story reaches far beyond a simple tale of celestial catastrophe. To understand Astel's place in the grand design of the lands between, we must first journey to the stars themselves, to understand the cosmic forces that shape this being's terrible purpose. While we don't know for certain if Astel was deliberately created as a weapon, the evidence suggests it serves as an instrument of cosmic judgment, a malformed star that arrived to punish those who dared defy the greater will. The story begins not with Astel's arrival, but with the defiance that may have necessitated its punishment. Long ago, the Nox angered the greater will, who banished them underground, forcing them to live under a false night sky. But what was this transgression that warranted such cosmic retribution? The answer appears to lie in the very weapon that would define their rebellion and seal their doom. The Fingerslayer blade, described as the hidden treasure of the eternal city of Nokron, is a blade said to have been born of a corpse. This blood-drenched fetish is proof of the high treason committed by the eternal city and symbolizes its downfall. It cannot be wielded by those without a fate, but is said to be able to harm the greater will and its vassals. Here was a weapon forged specifically to wound the cosmic forces that governed reality itself, a blasphemy so profound that it could not go unanswered. The Nox were no ordinary people. They were a civilization devoted to the night sky and the stars that adorned it. The eternal cities once existed above ground and were built by the Nox, who were devoted to the starry night sky. These cities contained massive stone chair crypts that seated giant maidens, but their devotion to the cosmos was not mere worship, it was ambition. The Nox used weapons forged from the liquid metal of silver tears, which could mimic other forms. They used these mimic tears in an attempt to create their own lord. While the exact nature of their transgression remains unclear, the Fingerslayer blade found in Nokron appears to be connected to their downfall. This was no mere rebellion. Based on the descriptions we find throughout the eternal cities, this appears to have been cosmic treason of the highest order. The silver tears themselves are fascinating entities, fluid beings of liquid metal capable of taking any form. The mimic tear, ashes and silver tear. Husk item descriptions explain the Nox's attempts to create a lord. Through these malleable creatures, the Nox experimented with the very nature of life and form, pushing the boundaries of what was possible within the confines of the greater will's order. Based on item descriptions, the Dragonkin were born in the Eternal City, where they knew no true sky nor true lightning. Instead, ice lightning was their weapon. The descriptions note that the Dragonkin soldiers never attained immortality and perished as decrepit, pale imitations of their skyborn kin. These artificial dragons appear to represent the Nox's attempt to replicate the power of the ancient dragons. Born in subterranean chambers beneath false stars, the Dragonkin knew only the cold imitation of lightning, never the true red lightning of their inspirations. The scale of the Nox's transgression becomes clear when we consider what they were truly attempting. They wait for a Lord of Light who will usher in the Age of Stars. The Nox weren't simply rebelling against the Golden Order. They were attempting to supplant the greater will itself, to replace the cosmic hierarchy with their own starborn deity. And for this ultimate blasphemy, the greater will's response was swift and merciless. As punishment for their blasphemy, each city fell to ruin and was buried deep underground. The black moon that hung over their night sky shattered into memory stones, and based on what we can piece together from various sources, Astel, natural born of the void, was unleashed upon their cities. This is where Astel's story truly begins. While we cannot say with certainty that it was deliberately crafted as an instrument of punishment, the evidence strongly suggests it serves as such. Despite the Nox's deep knowledge of the fate foretold in the stars, Astel, natural born of the void, appeared suddenly and devastated the city with bombardment of meteorites. The irony is profound. The Nox, masters of stellar divination and cosmic manipulation, were blindsided by the very force sent to destroy them. Their expertise in reading the stars could not prepare them for the weapon born in the void beyond those stars, forged in the lightless spaces between worlds where no starlight could reveal its approach. Astel destroyed one of the eternal cities and wiped out their sky. But which city bore the brunt of this cosmic assault? The answer lies in the ruins beneath the Erd tree's roots, in a place where death flows but does not depart. Based on the architectural evidence we can observe, the ruined city within the perimeter of the deep-root depths shares its architectural features with the twin eternal cities, Nokron and Nokstella. Given it is in ruins, it appears likely that this is the eternal city destroyed by Astel, natural born of the void. The nameless eternal city was destroyed by Astel, natural born of the void, long ago. This third eternal city, now known only as the nameless eternal city, was once as grand as its sisters. The nameless eternal city was built by the Nox in a bygone age. It was protected by valiant gargoyles made with the corpse wax of fallen champions. Yet, unlike Nokron and Nokstella, which retain their false starlit skies even in their underground exile, the nameless eternal city lacks a false night sky. Its ruins sit at the edge of a tremendous chasm in the deep-root depths, far below the Erdtree, at the source of the Shifra and Ainsel rivers. It is flooded and sinking into a bog of milky white liquid. The eternal city was fully depopulated, its streets now patrolled only by the headless spirits of mausoleum knights and the shambling forms of basilisks. The devastation was absolute. Where once stood a proud city devoted to the stars, now lies only rubble and ruin, testament to Astel's overwhelming power. Interestingly, the ruins of the city line up perfectly with the giant chasm within in the Leyndell city walls, in the northwestern part of the city, just beyond the non-functional main gate of the city. This suggests that the nameless eternal city may have once been part of Leyndell itself, or perhaps Leyndell was built over its remains. But Astel's assault was more than mere physical destruction, once destroyed an eternal city and took away their sky. This poetic phrase reveals the true horror of Astel's attack. The Nox, who had devoted their entire civilization to the worship and study of the stars, were stripped of the very thing they held most sacred. Their sky was literally taken from them, leaving them in a world without the celestial bodies that had guided their entire existence. The eternal darkness spell says it was the despair that brought about its ruin made manifest, which suggests that the loss of the sky and stars were the downfall of Nokron. The psychological warfare was as devastating as the physical assault. A people defined by their connection to the cosmos were severed from it completely, forced to exist in a world where their greatest source of meaning and power had been torn away. To understand the full scope of Astel's power, we must examine the entity itself. Based on what we can observe, it has a vaguely insectoid body, comprised of multicolored orbs that form a tail akin to a scorpion's, with translucent wings and 6 limbs that end in human-like hands. It has a humanoid skull with large mandibles, and a large blue eye can be seen through a crack in the front of the skull. This grotesque fusion of human and arthropod characteristics suggests something deeply unsettling about Astal's nature. The human-like elements could represent some connection to terrestrial life, though their exact significance remains unclear. The hands that end each limb seem almost mockingly human, while the skull that houses its consciousness bears an unsettling resemblance to mortal remains. The many-colored orbs that comprise Astal's tail are particularly fascinating. These stellar fragments pulse with otherworldly light, each one potentially containing the compressed essence of a star. When Astal moves, these orbs shift and flow like liquid starlight, creating a hypnotic display that masks the creature's deadly intent. Astal's arsenal reflects its cosmic origins. Crafted from a relic of the natural-born of the Void who is said to have assailed the Eternal City, one of the glintstone sorceries that manipulates gravitational forces, summons a void that emits a hail of meteorites. The Meteorite of Astal spell demonstrates the creature's ability to create localized voids, tears in reality itself that rain down stellar debris upon its enemies. A manifestation of the power with which Astal leveled the Eternal City. This was the weapon used to destroy the nameless Eternal City, a power so overwhelming that it could reduce entire civilizations to rubble and ash. The void that Astal creates is not merely an absence of matter, but an active force of unmaking, a window into the lightless spaces between stars where only destruction dwells. The creature's gravitational mastery extends beyond simple meteorite bombardment. Like its smaller kin, Astal can manipulate the fundamental forces that bind reality together. It can lift enemies into the air with casual gestures, slam them back down with bone-crushing force, and warp space itself to teleport across vast distances in the blink of an eye. But perhaps most terrifying of all is Astal's ability to manifest the cosmos itself within its domain. During battle, the creature can transform the very ceiling of its lair into a window to the void, causing genuine meteorites to rain down from what appears to be actual space. This is not mere illusion or trickery. Astal possesses the power to breach the barriers between dimensions, to bring the cold vacuum of space into contact with the material world. The connection between Astal and the other stellar entities, scattered throughout the lands between, suggests a broader cosmic hierarchy. The falling star beast appears to be an early stage of a life cycle that could include Astal and possibly the malformed star, which also has the same head. If one looks closely at the full-grown falling star beast's eye, it slightly resembles the skull of an Astal. This suggests that Astal may not be unique, but rather could represent the final evolutionary stage of a species of cosmic entities. The falling star beasts, with their armored carapaces and powerful mandibles, might be the larval forms. The malformed stars could represent an intermediate stage, hanging from ceilings as they await metamorphosis, similar to real-world insects. This life cycle mirrors that of terrestrial insects, particularly antlions, which begin as heavily armored larvae before transforming into winged adults. An interesting comparison can be drawn between the life cycle of the antlion and the Astal, as each start as a relatively small and well-armored creature with prominent mandibles before transforming into winged beasts. The implication is staggering. Astal is not an isolated entity, but the apex form of an entire species of cosmic predators. Somewhere in the void between stars, these entities are born, perhaps in vast nurseries of dark matter and stellar debris. They fall to worlds like meteors, beginning their life cycle as armored scavengers before eventually transforming into the winged horrors that can devastate entire civilizations. But why was Astel sent specifically to punish the Nox? Based on what we can gather from various item descriptions, the answer appears to lie in the nature of the threat they pose to the cosmic order. The Nox, wanting revenge on the Greater Will, sought to forge their Lord of Night with the use of mimic silver tears. This was not mere rebellion against earthly authority, but what appears to have been an attempt to create a rival to the Greater Will itself. The Greater Will, that cosmic force which sent the Elden Beast to the lands between and established the Golden Order, could not tolerate such defiance. The Nox's attempt to create their own deity represented an existential threat to the entire cosmic hierarchy. If they succeeded, it would prove that the Greater Will's authority was not absolute, that alternative cosmic orders were possible. So the Greater Will reached into the void, into the spaces between stars where no light has ever shone, and crafted a weapon of living darkness. Astel was not born in the traditional sense, if we accept the implications of its title. A malformed star born in the lightless void far away. The word natural born creates an interesting contradiction. How can something be both natural and malformed? This could imply that Astel represents a corruption of natural stellar processes, a star twisted from its intended form. The entity that would become Astel seems to have been assembled from the detritus of dead stars, based on its description as being composed of many-colored star debris. Each of the many-colored orbs that comprise its form could represent a fragment of a different star, a piece of cosmic history compressed into this singular being. The human-like skull may have been incorporated for unknown reasons, though this remains purely speculative. Once assembled, Astel was cast toward the lands between like a meteor of judgment. An unused animation shows Astel descending from the sky while playing the sound of a roaring fire. We can only imagine the terror that must have filled the Nox astronomers as they watched their instruments register the approach of something that defied all their understanding of stellar mechanics. The impact was devastating. Despite the Nox's deep knowledge of the fate foretold in the stars, Astel, natural born of the void, appeared suddenly and devastated the city with bombardment of meteorites. The nameless eternal city, perhaps the greatest of the three eternal cities, was reduced to rubble in a matter of hours. Its protective valiant gargoyles, crafted from the corpse wax of fallen champions, were powerless against this cosmic assault. But the physical destruction was only the beginning. Astel's true power lay in its ability to sever the Nox's connection to the stars themselves. The night sky that had guided their civilization for millennia was literally torn away, leaving them in a world of perpetual darkness. Unlike its sister cities, the nameless eternal city lacks a false night sky. Where Nokron and Noxstella were granted the mercy of artificial stars to remember what they had lost, the nameless eternal city was condemned to absolute darkness. This was psychological warfare on a cosmic scale. The Nox, who had devoted their entire culture to the study and worship of celestial bodies, were forced to exist in a world where no stars shone. Their astronomical instruments became useless. Their stellar divination arts were reduced to meaningless ritual. Their very identity as a star-worshipping people was stripped away. The survivors of the nameless eternal city were scattered to the winds, some fleeing to the remaining eternal cities, others abandoning their heritage entirely. Celia, town of sorcery, was founded in Caelid. Many notable glintstone sorcerers came from Celia, including primeval sorcerer Lusat, who went on to found the Olivinus Conspectus at the Academy of Raya Lucaria. These refugees carried with them fragments of Nox's knowledge, but their connection to their stellar origins was forever severed. With its primary mission complete, Astel did not simply disappear. The creature remained in the depths beneath the Lake of Rot, perhaps as a guardian against any future Nox uprising, or perhaps because its nature, as a being of the void, made it naturally drawn to the darkest, most isolated places in the world. The Lake of Rot itself presents an interesting parallel to Astel's story. The divine essence of an outer god is sealed away in this lake after it was defeated by a blind swordsman with a flowing sword. Just as the outer god of Rot was sealed away for its transgressions against the cosmic order, so too was Astel contained in the depths, prevented from roaming freely across the surface world. The cloister is crawling with kindred of Rot, many of whom can be found worshipping a scorpion's stinger in front of a giant statue of a bearded figure. It is said the dagger is a sacred relic of their sealed outer god of Rot. The Grand Cloister serves as a temple to the defeated Rot god, just as the depths beyond serve as a prison for the cosmic destroyer. The presence of the kindred of Rot in such proximity to Astel's domain is not coincidental. Both represent defeated cosmic forces, entities that once threatened the established order and were subsequently contained. The parallel suggests that Astel, like the Rot god, may have once been a more active threat before being sealed away in the depths. But Astel's imprisonment was not permanent. The creature remained, waiting in the darkness, its power undiminished by the ages. And when the time came for new threats to emerge against the cosmic order, Astel would once again serve as an instrument of divine will. The connection between Astel and the broader cosmic conflicts of the lands between becomes clear when we examine the role of Rudorn, the Star Scourge. Rudorn stopped the motion of the stars, likely to prevent more malformed stars, falling star beasts, and Onyx and Alabaster lords from crashing into the lands between. It could have been plausible for Astel to crash land during or after the fight with Rudorn, as he had conquered the stars to prevent Astel and its spawn from arriving to the lands between. Rudorn's mastery of gravity magic was not mere academic exercise. It was a desperate defensive measure against cosmic invasion. Rudorn alone holds Celia secure and stands tall to shatter the stars. The general understood that the stars were not mere celestial bodies, but potential invasion routes for entities like Astel. The Star Scourge's gravity magic came from the same source as the cosmic entities he fought against. One of the Alabaster Lords became a mentor of General Rudorn and taught him gravity magic, with collapsing stars, gravity well, and rock sling being three of the gravitational techniques studied by the young Rudorn. The Alabaster Lords are a race of ancients with skin of stone who were said to have risen to life when a meteor struck long ago. This creates a fascinating irony. Rudorn learned to fight the stars using techniques taught to him by beings who were themselves born from falling stars. The Alabaster and Onyx Lords like Astel were cosmic entities that had arrived on meteors in ages past. The power of gravity is frequently seen used by beings from beyond the stars. The knowledge of these arts were introduced to mankind by the enigmatic Alabaster Lords and Onyx Lords. But unlike Astel, the Alabaster and Onyx Lords had apparently made peace with the existing cosmic order. They served as teachers and mentors rather than destroyers, sharing their stellar knowledge with worthy students like Rudorn. This suggests that not all cosmic entities were inherently hostile to the lands between. Some could be integrated into the existing order, while others, like Astel, remained forever alien and dangerous. Rudorn's success in halting the stars created a cosmic stalemate. When he is defeated, he releases all the meteorites or stars that have been held back. One of them was a giant star that landed in the area of Limgrave, opening a hole that leads to the underground settlement of Nokron, Eternal City. The general's death didn't just restore the natural motion of celestial bodies, it reopened invasion routes that had been sealed for years. This is where Astel's story intersects with the broader narrative of Elden Ring's political upheaval. When the Tarnished defeats Rudorn as part of Ronnie's questline, they unknowingly restore cosmic pathways that allow access to the underground cities, but they also potentially enable new cosmic threats to reach the lands between. Aren't the stars that Rudorn holds up are the falling star beasts and beings like Astel, as they were repeatedly called stars. Astel being described as an ill omen also supports that these stars are still like the stars being described that are connected with fate and omens. This suggests that Rudorn was not just holding back inanimate celestial bodies, but actively preventing cosmic entities from reaching the world. The implications are terrifying. If Rudorn was restraining hundreds or thousands of potential Astels, then his death may have doomed the lands between to eventual cosmic invasion. Each falling star could potentially be another natural born of the void, another weapon of cosmic destruction, waiting to devastate whatever civilization it encounters. But Astel's role in Ronnie's questline suggests that the creature may serve multiple cosmic masters. Ronnie, the lunar princess turned witch, seeks to establish her own age of stars, to become a god who will take the Elden Ring far from the lands between and establish a new cosmic order. To achieve this goal, she requires the Tarnished to defeat Astel. The irony is profound. Ronnie, whose goals echo those of the ancient Nox, must overcome the very weapon that destroyed them. But why? If Astel was the Greater Will's instrument against Stellar Rebellion, why does its defeat serve Ronnie's cosmic ambitions? The answer may lie in Astel's nature as a guardian. However, it must be defeated to access Moonlight Altar and achieve a certain ending. Astel guards the path to the Moonlight Altar, where Ronnie's ultimate destiny awaits. The creature may have been repurposed from Cosmic Destroyer to Cosmic Sentinel, tasked with preventing anyone from reaching the altar where a new stellar deity might be born. Alternatively, Astel's defeat may be necessary to prove that Ronnie is powerful enough to succeed where the Nox failed. By overcoming the weapon that destroyed the last Stellar Rebellion, she demonstrates that her Age of Stars will not suffer the same fate as the Eternal City's failed Lord of Night. The path to Astel itself tells a story of preparation and purification. The journey through the Lake of Rot serves as a trial by ordeal, testing the Tarnished's resolve and forcing them to confront the reality of cosmic struggle. The waters here are treacherous, quickly applying the Scarlet Rot status effect each second you stand in the water. This is not mere environmental hazard, but a deliberate obstacle designed to ensure that only the most determined reach Astel's domain. It is said that the divine essence of an outer god is sealed away in this land. The Lake of Rot serves as both prison and testing ground, a place where defeated cosmic forces are contained while serving as trials for those who would challenge the cosmic order themselves. The grand cloister that guards the approach to Astel represents the remnants of an ancient faith, a temple complex of the ancient dynasty on the southern edge of the Lake of Rot. It houses the worship of the sealed Rot god, while serving as the final obstacle before reaching the cosmic destroyer beyond. Dagger fashioned from a great scorpion's tail, glistening with scarlet rot, a ceremonial tool used by heretics, crafted from the relic of a sealed outer god. The scorpion stinger found within the Grand Cloister represents the physical remains of the defeated Rot god, fashioned into a weapon by its faithful servants. This parallels Astel's own nature as a being crafted from stellar debris and cosmic forces. The journey through the coffin that leads to Astel's domain represents a symbolic death and rebirth. the tarnished must literally entomb themselves to reach the cosmic destroyer, suggesting that confronting such entities requires a willingness to abandon one's earthly nature and venture into realms where normal rules of existence no longer apply. Astel's lair itself is a masterpiece of cosmic horror. The vast cavern stretches beyond normal spatial limitations, its ceiling lost in darkness that may open directly onto the void between stars. Strange formations of crystalline matter jut from the walls, their surfaces reflecting light that seems to come from no discernible source. The very air feels different here, charged with gravitational forces that make movement feel dreamlike and unreal. When the tarnished first encounters Astel, the creature often begins its assault from across a vast distance, firing its cosmic beam with casual precision. This opening attack serves both as an immediate threat and as a demonstration of power. Astel is announcing that normal concepts of range and safety do not apply in its domain. The creature's movements are hypnotic and alien. When it teleports, reality seems to bend and fold around it, creating brief glimpses of the void from which it was born. Its attacks flow with otherworldly grace, each gesture calculated and precise despite the creature's enormous size. There is an intelligence here that transcends mortal understanding, a consciousness shaped by eons of existence in the cold vacuum between stars. Astel's grab attacks are particularly horrifying, not just for their lethality, but for what they represent. The creature doesn't simply kill its victims, it draws them into itself, potentially adding their essence to its own cosmic mass. This may explain the human-like characteristics it displays. Each person it has consumed may have contributed to its growing complexity, adding new layers to its alien consciousness. The variety of Astel's attacks reflects its mastery over multiple cosmic forces. Beyond its signature gravitational manipulations, the creature can summon localized meteor showers, create waves of dark energy that ripple across the battlefield, and manifest stellar phenomena that have no earthly equivalent. Each attack is both a demonstration of power and a glimpse into the cosmic forces that exist beyond mortal comprehension. But perhaps most unsettling is Astel's apparent intelligence. This is not a mindless force of destruction, but a conscious entity capable of strategy and adaptation. It studies its opponents, adjusting its tactics based on their behavior. When faced with ranged attackers, it teleports to close distance. When confronted by melee fighters, it maintains distance and employs its devastating grab attacks. This intelligence raises disturbing questions about Astel's true nature. Is it merely following programmed directives from its cosmic creators, or has it developed its own agenda during its long imprisonment beneath the lands between? The creature's apparent boredom during combat, its methodical approach to destruction, suggests a mind that has had eons to contemplate its purpose and perhaps resent its role as a cosmic weapon. The existence of multiple Astels further complicates our understanding of these entities. There are 2 Astels found in Elden Ring, but there may be a secret lore reason for that. Beyond the natural born of the void, encountered in the depths below the Lake of Rot, another specimen known as Astel, Stars of Darkness, can be found in the Yellow Annex Tunnel in the consecrated snowfield. This second Astel raises profound questions about the nature of these cosmic entities. Is every Voidborn named Astel? Is he not natural-born as the other one? Do they know each other? The fact that both entities bear the same name suggests they may be part of a larger collective consciousness, fragments of a singular cosmic intelligence distributed across multiple physical forms. Alternatively, Astel may be a title rather than a personal name, a designation given to entities that serve a specific function within the cosmic hierarchy. The differences in their secondary names, Natural Born of the Void and Stars of Darkness, suggest distinct roles or origins while maintaining their fundamental identity as instruments of stellar destruction. The presence of the Stars of Darkness variant in the consecrated snowfield near the entrance to the Haligtree cannot be coincidental. This Astel guards the approach to Mik-Ella's domain, just as the Natural Born guards the path to the Moonlight Altar. Both entities serve as gatekeepers to locations of cosmic significance, suggesting they may have been deliberately positioned as sentinels against those who would challenge the established order. This positioning also suggests that Astel entities may possess some form of cosmic awareness that transcends their individual forms. They appear where they are needed most, as if responding to threats against the cosmic balance that their creators seek to maintain. The fact that both Astels must be defeated to achieve different endings, the Age of Stars and access to Mik-Ella's realm, suggests they serve as final tests for those who would reshape the world. The weapons and artifacts that can be crafted from Astel's remains provide insight into the creature's fundamental nature. Flail, which deals magic damage, having been imbued with power by the remembrance of Astel, formed of the same many-colored star debris that comprise the form of the Natural Born of the Void. Bastard Stars, the flail created from Astel's remembrance, literally incorporates fragments of the creature's stellar body. When wielded, Bastard Stars retains echoes of Astel's cosmic power. Its weapon skill, Nebula, creates a swirling vortex of stellar energy that mirrors the creature's own gravitational manipulations. This suggests that Astel's power is not purely mystical, but somehow embedded in its physical structure. Each fragment of star debris contains compressed cosmic forces that can be harnessed by those skilled enough to do so. Sword fashioned from a delicate wing, suffused with the magic of the stars. Strong attack unleashes a wave of enchanted light. The wing of Astel represents another aspect of the creature's power. Despite Astel's terrifying nature, parts of its anatomy possess an almost ethereal beauty. The translucent wings that allow it to defy gravity contain concentrated stellar magic that can be channeled into devastating attacks. The fact that both weapons retain their cosmic properties after Astel's death suggests that the creature's power is somehow fundamental to its physical structure. This raises the possibility that Astel is not truly alive in any conventional sense, but rather a stable configuration of cosmic forces held together by gravitational manipulation and void energy. The relationship between Astel and the other cosmic entities scattered throughout the lands between reveals a broader ecosystem of stellar life. The Alabaster and Onyx Lords, despite their peaceful integration into the world's academic institutions, share fundamental characteristics with Astel. They were called Lords in reverential fear of their destructive power, yet they chose to serve as teachers rather than destroyers. This suggests that cosmic entities possess the capacity for choice, that their role as weapons or allies depends on factors beyond their mere nature. The Alabaster Lords chose integration and cooperation, sharing their gravitational knowledge with promising students like Rudon. Astel, by contrast, remained true to its nature as a weapon of cosmic destruction. The difference may lie in their origins. While the Alabaster and Onyx Lords arose naturally when meteors struck the lands between, Astel was deliberately crafted as an instrument of punishment. Its malformed nature reflects its artificial origins, a being shaped by cosmic forces rather than evolved through natural stellar processes. This artificial nature may explain Astel's apparent inability to grow beyond its role as a destroyer. Where the Alabaster Lords developed complex societies and philosophical traditions, Astel remains locked in its original programming, endlessly repeating the patterns of destruction that were burned into its very essence at the moment of its creation. Yet there are hints that Astel may possess greater complexity than its role as a cosmic weapon suggests. The creature's apparent ability to recognize and respond to different types of threats implies a level of adaptability that goes beyond simple programming. Its strategic use of teleportation and varied attack patterns suggests a mind capable of learning and evolving, even within the constraints of its destructive nature. The humanoid skull that forms Astel's head may represent more than mere mockery of human ambition. It could be evidence of the creature's capacity for consciousness, a fragment of genuine sentience trapped within a body designed for destruction. The large blue eye, visible through the crack in the skull, seems to regard its opponents with something approaching curiosity, as if Astel is as interested in studying its enemies as it is in destroying them. This potential for consciousness makes Astel's situation all the more tragic. If the creature possesses genuine awareness, then it may understand its role as a cosmic weapon, while being powerless to choose a different path. Its existence becomes a form of cosmic imprisonment, forced to serve as an instrument of destruction, while potentially longing for something greater. The connection between Astel and the forces of gravity extends beyond mere combat techniques. Gravity itself, in the world of Elden Ring, represents a fundamental force that connects all things across cosmic distances. When Astel manipulates gravity, it is not simply moving objects through space. It is asserting control over the very forces that bind the universe together. This gravitational mastery allows Astel to exist partially outside normal space-time. Its ability to teleport may not be true teleportation at all, but rather a form of gravitational folding that allows it to step between distant points in space. When the creature vanishes and reappears, it may be taking shortcuts through folded space-time, traveling through the void between stars to emerge at its destination. The implications of this ability are staggering. If Astel can fold space at will, then its imprisonment beneath the lake of rot may be more voluntary than absolute. The creature may choose to remain in the depths, either because it serves its cosmic master's purposes, or because it has found something of interest in the sealed realm beneath the earth. The proximity of Astel's domain to the sealed rot god presents intriguing possibilities. Both entities represent cosmic forces that were defeated and contained by the established order. Could there be some form of communication or mutual understanding between these imprisoned powers? The presence of the kindred of rot so close to Astel's lair suggests that the servants of the sealed god may also serve the cosmic destroyer in some capacity. This potential alliance between cosmic outcasts could explain why Astel's defeat is necessary for Ronnie's ascension. If the creature has been corrupted by prolonged exposure to the rot god's influence, it may no longer serve the greater will's interests. Instead, it could have become a wild card in the cosmic game, an entity whose loyalties are no longer certain. The battle against Astel represents more than a simple boss fight. It is a confrontation between mortal ambition and cosmic authority, between the Tarnished's earthly quest and the vast indifferent forces that shape reality from beyond the stars. When the player faces Astel, they are not just fighting a monster, they are challenging the cosmic order itself. The arena where this confrontation takes place reflects the magnitude of the conflict. The vast cavern seems to exist partially outside normal space, its dimensions shifting and flowing according to cosmic rather than terrestrial rules. The ceiling opens onto what appears to be genuine outer space, suggesting that Astel's domain exists at the intersection of multiple realities. During the battle, Astel demonstrates powers that defy conventional understanding. It can summon genuine meteorites from the void between stars, create localized distortions in space-time, and manipulate gravitational forces with casual precision. Each attack is a reminder that the Tarnished is facing a being that operates according to cosmic rather than terrestrial logic. The creature's apparent frustration when its attacks miss, or when the Tarnished proves unexpectedly resilient, suggests that Astel is not accustomed to genuine resistance. As a cosmic weapon designed to destroy entire civilizations, it may rarely encounter opponents capable of meaningful opposition. The Tarnished's persistence may represent something new in Astel's long existence, a challenge that requires genuine effort to overcome. This novelty may explain why Astel seems to experiment with different attack patterns as the battle progresses. The creature appears to be learning, adapting its cosmic arsenal to deal with an unexpectedly tenacious opponent. Its increasing use of teleportation and grab attacks may represent genuine problem-solving rather than mere escalation. The defeat of Astel marks a turning point in cosmic politics. By overcoming a weapon of the greater will, the Tarnished proves that mortal determination can triumph over cosmic authority. This victory opens the path to the Moonlight Altar, where Ronnie awaits to complete her transformation into a stellar deity. But the victory comes at a cost. Astel's death removes one of the few entities capable of preventing cosmic invasion. With both Rudon and Astel defeated, the lands between may be left defenseless against future threats from the void. The short-term gain of accessing the Moonlight Altar may have long-term consequences that dwarf the immediate benefits. The rewards for defeating Astel reflect both the magnitude of the achievement and the cosmic significance of the victory. Those who are finally able to defeat Astel will be rewarded with 80,000 runes and a remembrance of the natural born. This can be sold for 30,000 runes, or traded to receive one of the boss's two powers, the Ash of War, Waves of Darkness, or the unique flail weapon, Bastard Stars. The Waves of Darkness. Ash of War allows the wielder to channel a fragment of Astel's destructive power, creating shockwaves that ripple across the battlefield like echoes of cosmic destruction. This ability transforms any weapon into an instrument of stellar warfare, allowing mortal warriors to wield forces that were once the exclusive domain of cosmic entities. Bastard Stars, meanwhile, serves as a more direct connection to Astel's power. The flail's nebula skill creates a miniature stellar system around the wielder, orbiting fragments of cosmic debris that explode with devastating force. Wielding this weapon is like carrying a piece of the void itself, a reminder of the cosmic forces that shape reality from beyond mortal understanding. The implications of mortals wielding such cosmic power cannot be understated. By defeating Astel and claiming its abilities, the Tarnished begins to transcend their earthly origins. They become something more than human, something capable of operating on the same level as cosmic entities. This transformation may be necessary for the challenges that await in Ronnie's questline, but it also represents a fundamental change in the Tarnished's nature. The broader implications of Astel's story extend far beyond the creature itself. The entity represents the collision between mortal ambition and cosmic authority, between earthly rebellion and the vast indifferent forces that govern reality from the spaces between stars. Its existence raises fundamental questions about the nature of power, the price of defiance, and the ultimate fate of those who dare to challenge the cosmic order. The Nox's failed rebellion serves as both warning and inspiration. Their fate demonstrates the terrible consequences of defying cosmic authority without adequate preparation or understanding. Yet their legacy lives on in figures like Ronnie, who may succeed where they failed by learning from their mistakes and approaching cosmic power with greater wisdom and humility. The relationship between Astel and the other stellar entities suggests that the cosmos is not a unified monolith, but a complex ecosystem of competing forces and interests. Some cosmic entities, like the Alabaster Lords, can be integrated into terrestrial civilization. Others, like Astel, remain forever alien and dangerous. The key may lie in understanding which forces can be reasoned with and which must be fought. The geographic distribution of cosmic entities throughout the lands between tells its own story. Falling star beasts are found in craters where they first impacted, often in remote or strategically significant locations. Malformed stars hang in caves and tunnels, perhaps seeking dark places where they can complete their metamorphosis undisturbed. Astel itself lurks in the deepest, most isolated places, far from the light of any sun. This distribution suggests that cosmic entities may be following some form of evolutionary imperative, seeking environments that support their development while avoiding exposure to forces that might threaten their existence. The fact that they consistently choose underground locations may indicate a vulnerability to surface conditions or a natural inclination toward darkness and isolation. The presence of multiple alabaster and onyx lords scattered throughout the world suggests that cosmic immigration is not a recent phenomenon. These entities have been arriving in the lands between for ages, each meteor bringing new potential for both knowledge and destruction. Some integrate successfully, becoming teachers and allies. Others remain alien and hostile, requiring constant vigilance to contain. This ongoing cosmic immigration may explain the prevalence of gravity magic throughout the world. As more stellar entities arrive, they bring with them knowledge of gravitational manipulation that gradually spreads through local populations. Rudawn's education by an Alabaster Lord is just one example of this knowledge transfer, but similar exchanges may have occurred throughout history. The theological implications of Astel's existence are profound. If cosmic entities can be crafted as weapons by greater powers, then the greater will itself may not be the ultimate cosmic authority. There may be forces beyond even the outer gods, entities so vast and alien that they exist in the spaces between universes rather than within any single reality. Astel's nature as a malformed star suggests that normal stellar processes were deliberately corrupted to create it. Stars are typically associated with life, light, and energy. But Astel represents the opposite, a star that brings darkness, death, and cosmic horror. This inversion of natural cosmic order required power beyond anything the Nox could comprehend, let alone resist. The creature's role as both weapon and guardian reflects the complex nature of cosmic politics. Astel serves the greater will's interests by destroying those who would challenge the established order, but it also guards specific locations against unauthorized access. This dual role suggests that cosmic entities may serve multiple functions within the broader hierarchy of cosmic power. The fact that Astel must be defeated to achieve Ronnie's ending raises questions about the nature of cosmic succession. Does the defeat of one cosmic weapon automatically transfer its authority to the victor, or does it simply remove an obstacle to cosmic ascension? Ronnie's transformation into a stellar deity may require not just overcoming Astel, but somehow incorporating or transcending the forces it represents. The relationship between Astel and the stars themselves provides another layer of cosmic complexity. When Rudawn held back the stars, he may have been preventing not just the arrival of new cosmic entities, but the return of existing ones to their cosmic origins. Astel's continued presence in the lands between, despite its cosmic nature, suggests that it may be trapped by the same forces that hold back the stars. This imprisonment may be both punishment and protection. Just as the Nox were banished underground for their cosmic treason, Astel may be confined to terrestrial reality as a consequence of its role in their destruction. The creature that once traveled freely between stars is now bound to a single world, forced to exist in conditions that may be as alien to its nature as its presence is to terrestrial life. The cyclic nature of cosmic conflict emerges as a central theme in Astel's story. The Nox rebellion against the greater will parallels Ronnie's later challenge to the same cosmic authority. Both involve attempts to establish alternative cosmic orders based on stellar rather than terrestrial power. Both require the defeat of cosmic guardians and the mastery of forces beyond normal mortal comprehension. But where the Nox failed due to their hubris and lack of understanding, Ronnie may succeed through preparation and alliance. Her questline carefully builds the Tarnished's power and understanding, preparing them for cosmic confrontation through a series of increasingly challenging trials. The defeat of Dawn demonstrates mastery over stellar forces, while the journey through the underground realms proves the ability to navigate cosmic politics. The defeat of Astel itself serves as the final test, proving that the Tarnished can overcome even the greater will's most powerful weapons. This victory establishes the credentials necessary for cosmic authority, demonstrating that the new order will not suffer the same fate as the old eternal cities. Yet the victory also carries cosmic responsibilities. By defeating Astel, the Tarnished becomes responsible for maintaining the balance that the creature once enforced. They inherit not just its power, but its role as a guardian against cosmic chaos. This inheritance may explain why Ronnie's Age of Stars involves taking the Elden Ring far from the lands between to prevent the kind of cosmic conflicts that created Astel in the first place. The environmental storytelling surrounding Astel's domain reinforces these themes of cosmic isolation and artificial nature. The creature's lair exists in a space that seems carved from the void itself, its dimensions following cosmic rather than terrestrial geometry. Strange formations of crystallized starlight jut from the walls, their surfaces reflecting colors that have no earthly equivalent. The absence of any natural life in Astel's domain is telling. No plants grow here, no animals make their homes in these depths. Even the omnipresent silver tears of the eternal cities avoid this space, suggesting that Astel's presence creates conditions incompatible with any form of life not specifically adapted to cosmic environments. This sterility extends beyond mere environmental conditions. The very air in Astel's domain feels wrong, charged with gravitational distortions that make normal movement feel alien and uncertain. Sound travels differently here, sometimes echoing strangely or disappearing entirely into vacuum-like silence. These effects suggest that Astel's presence fundamentally alters the nature of local reality. The way light behaves in Astel's presence also defies normal physics. The creature seems to absorb certain wavelengths while reflecting others in impossible ways, creating an aurora-like effect that makes it difficult to judge distances or perceive the true dimensions of the space. This may be a defensive mechanism, designed to disorient enemies who are not adapted to cosmic environments. The psychological impact of confronting Astel cannot be understated. The creature represents everything that mortal minds struggle to comprehend: vast cosmic forces, alien intelligence, and the indifferent cruelty of the universe itself. Its very presence challenges human understanding of what life can be, forcing observers to confront the possibility that their entire worldview is merely a local phenomenon in a cosmos filled with unimaginable entities. The humanoid elements of Astel's anatomy make this confrontation even more disturbing. The human-like hands and skull create a sense of corrupted familiarity, as if the creature is a dark mirror of human evolution taken down a path of cosmic horror. This may be intentional design by its creators, a way of ensuring that any mortals who encounter Astel will immediately understand their place in the cosmic hierarchy. The mandibles and insectoid body structure reinforce this sense of alien predation. Astel is not just different from human life, it is specifically adapted to prey upon it. The creature's entire anatomy seems designed for the consumption and processing of terrestrial life forms, suggesting that destruction of mortal civilizations may be its primary function. Yet the creature's apparent intelligence complicates this predatory relationship. Astel doesn't simply devour its enemies like a mindless beast. It studies them, learns from them, and adapts its tactics accordingly. This suggests that the creature may derive some form of satisfaction or purpose from the challenge of cosmic warfare, rather than simply following mindless directives. The presence of what appears to be genuine emotion in Astel's behavior patterns supports this interpretation. The creature displays what might be described as frustration when its attacks are avoided, satisfaction when they connect, and something approaching curiosity when faced with unexpected tactics. These emotional responses suggest a level of consciousness that transcends mere programming. If Astel possesses genuine consciousness, then its defeat represents more than the removal of a cosmic threat. It becomes a tragedy of cosmic proportions, the destruction of a unique intelligence that has existed since the dawn of stellar civilization. The Tarnished's victory would then carry moral weight beyond the immediate tactical advantages. The broader implications of cosmic consciousness raise fundamental questions about the nature of life and intelligence in the Elden Ring universe. If entities like Astel can develop genuine awareness, then the cosmos may be populated by countless intelligent beings whose nature and motivations remain completely alien to terrestrial understanding. This possibility transforms the cosmic conflicts of Elden Ring from simple struggles between order and chaos into complex political relationships between radically different forms of consciousness. The greater will, the outer gods, and entities like Astel may represent different approaches to existence and reality, each valid from their own perspective, but potentially incompatible with others. The role of mortals in these cosmic conflicts becomes even more significant under this interpretation. Rather than being mere pawns in games played by cosmic entities, mortals like the Tarnished may serve as bridges between radically different forms of consciousness. Their ability to understand and interact with both terrestrial and cosmic intelligence makes them uniquely valuable in negotiations between cosmic powers. This bridging function may explain why cosmic entities like the Alabaster Lords choose to teach mortal students rather than simply imposing their will through force. They may recognize that mortal intelligence, while limited in scope, possesses qualities that cosmic consciousness lacks: adaptability, creativity, and the ability to find novel solutions to complex problems. Astel's failure to defeat the Tarnished may represent a vindication of this perspective. Despite overwhelming cosmic power, the creature cannot overcome mortal determination and ingenuity. This suggests that raw power, while impressive, may not be sufficient for long-term cosmic dominance. Understanding, cooperation, and adaptation may be more valuable than pure destructive capability. The weapons crafted from Astel's remains serve as permanent reminders of this lesson. Bastard stars and the wing of Astel allow mortals to wield cosmic power while maintaining their essential humanity, rather than transforming their wielders into cosmic entities. These weapons serve as tools that extend mortal capability without fundamentally altering mortal nature. This preservation of human identity, while accessing cosmic power, may represent the key to successful cosmic integration. Rather than abandoning their terrestrial nature to become cosmic entities, mortals can learn to bridge the gap between different forms of existence while maintaining their essential identity. The success of this approach can be seen in Ronnie's ultimate transformation. When she ascends to become a goddess of the stars, she doesn't abandon her connection to the mortal realm entirely. Instead, she takes the Elden Ring far from the lands between, suggesting that she intends to establish a new cosmic order that incorporates both terrestrial and stellar elements. This synthesis of mortal and cosmic elements may represent the ultimate resolution of the conflicts that created Astel in the first place. Rather than viewing terrestrial and cosmic existence as fundamentally incompatible, it becomes possible to envision forms of reality that incorporate both perspectives. The age of stars that Ronnie envisions may not be a simple replacement of one cosmic order with another, but a genuine synthesis that transcends the limitations of both. The tragic fate of the Nox serves as a cautionary tale for this cosmic synthesis. Their failure lay not in their ambition to challenge cosmic authority, but in their approach to that challenge. Rather than seeking to understand and integrate cosmic forces, they attempted to replace them entirely with their own creations. Their artificial lord, crafted from silver tears, represented a rejection of cosmic wisdom rather than an attempt to synthesize it with terrestrial understanding. Astel's role as the instrument of their destruction may have been intended as education rather than mere punishment. By demonstrating the full scope of cosmic power, the Greater Will may have been attempting to teach the Nox the futility of simple replacement strategies. The lesson was harsh, but it may have been necessary to prevent even greater cosmic disruptions. The survival of Nokron and Nokstella, despite their participation in the same rebellion, suggests that some forms of cosmic defiance can be tolerated if they don't threaten the fundamental structure of reality. These cities maintain their false night skies, their stellar observations, and their cosmic ambitions, but they no longer actively challenge the Greater Will's authority. This conditional tolerance may represent a form of cosmic mercy, allowing the Nox to maintain their cultural identity while preventing them from repeating their most dangerous experiments. The preservation of their knowledge and traditions ensures that future generations can learn from their mistakes without having to rediscover cosmic principles through equally dangerous trial and error. The role of the Fingerslayer blade in Ronnie's questline takes on new significance in this context. Rather than simply being a weapon against cosmic authority, it may represent a key to understanding the relationship between different forms of cosmic power. By studying and ultimately wielding this artifact of Nox rebellion, Ronnie may have learned how to challenge cosmic authority without triggering the kind of overwhelming retaliation that destroyed the nameless Eternal City. The blade's description as being born of a corpse suggests that it incorporates death as a fundamental element of its cosmic function. This may be the key to its effectiveness against cosmic entities. Rather than attempting to destroy or replace them, it may work by facilitating their transformation into something new. Death, in the cosmic sense, may not be ending, but metamorphosis. This interpretation would explain why the defeat of Astel doesn't simply eliminate the cosmic threat it represents. Instead, the creature's power is transformed and redistributed, becoming available to mortals through the weapons crafted from its remains. Rather than being destroyed, Astel's cosmic essence is recycled into forms that can serve terrestrial rather than cosmic interests. The presence of multiple Astels supports this interpretation of cosmic recycling rather than simple destruction. If cosmic entities can be genuinely destroyed, why would multiple versions of the same being exist? The answer may be that Astel represents a particular configuration of cosmic forces rather than an individual entity. Each Astel may be a new arrangement of the same underlying stellar debris and void energy. This recycling of cosmic essence may explain the apparent continuity between different stellar entities. The falling star beasts, malformed stars, and astels may all represent different arrangements of the same fundamental cosmic materials, shaped by local conditions and purposes into different forms. Rather than being distinct species, they may be different expressions of a single cosmic principle. The ability of mortal artificers to craft weapons from cosmic remains suggests that terrestrial and stellar matter may be more compatible than initially apparent. The successful integration of Astel's stellar debris into weapons like bastard stars demonstrates that cosmic forces can be adapted to serve terrestrial purposes without losing their essential nature. This compatibility may be the key to resolving the cosmic conflicts that define Elden Ring's background. Rather than viewing terrestrial and cosmic existence as fundamentally opposed, it may be possible to develop forms of civilization that incorporate both perspectives. The Tarnished's ability to wield cosmic weapons while maintaining their essential humanity provides a model for this integration. The ultimate significance of Astel's story may lie not in the creature's individual fate, but in what its existence reveals about the nature of cosmic power itself. The entity demonstrates that even the most overwhelming cosmic forces can be understood, challenged, and ultimately transformed through mortal determination and ingenuity. This lesson extends far beyond the immediate context of Ronnie's quest line. It suggests that mortals are not helpless pawns in cosmic games, but potential participants who can influence the outcome through their choices and actions. The defeat of Astel proves that cosmic authority is not absolute, that even weapons designed by the greater will can be overcome by those with sufficient resolve. The weapons crafted from Astel's remains serve as permanent reminders of this cosmic possibility. Every time the Tarnished wields bastard stars or channels the waves of darkness, they demonstrate that mortal beings can master cosmic forces without being consumed by them. This mastery represents hope for future cosmic relationships based on cooperation rather than domination. The transformation of Astel from cosmic destroyer to source of mortal empowerment may represent the ultimate victory over the forces that created it. Rather than simply removing a threat, the Tarnished has converted that threat into a resource for positive change. This alchemical transformation of destruction into creation may be the true magic of the lands between. But the story of Astel also carries warnings for future cosmic interactions. The creature's artificial nature and malformed appearance serve as reminders of what happens when cosmic forces are shaped by malice rather than wisdom. The greater will's creation of Astel as a weapon of punishment may have set a precedent for cosmic relationships based on fear and domination rather than mutual understanding. Breaking this cycle of cosmic violence may require not just defeating entities like Astel, but understanding and healing the cosmic wounds that created them in the first place. The corruption that transforms stellar matter into instruments of destruction may need to be reversed before genuine cosmic harmony can be achieved. The journey to reach Astel, through the underground rivers, past the eternal cities, across the lake of rot, serves as preparation for this cosmic healing work. Each obstacle overcome and each trial endured builds the Tarnished's understanding of the cosmic forces at play. By the time they face Astel itself, they are not just more powerful, but more wise, better equipped to understand the cosmic dynamics that shaped the creature's existence. The defeat of Astel, therefore, represents not just a military victory, but a cosmic education completed. The Tarnished emerges from the confrontation with a deeper understanding of the forces that shape reality from beyond the stars. This education prepares them for the even greater cosmic responsibilities that await in the Moonlight Altar and beyond. The arena where Astel dwells serves as a classroom for cosmic understanding. The vast space, with its impossible dimensions and physics-defying properties, forces visitors to adapt to cosmic rather than terrestrial logic. The battle itself becomes a practical lesson in cosmic mechanics, teaching through direct experience what academic study alone could never convey. The creature's various attack patterns each demonstrate different aspects of cosmic power. Its gravitational manipulations reveal how space and time can be folded and shaped. Its meteorite bombardments show how matter and energy can be transported across vast distances instantaneously. Its teleportation abilities demonstrate movement through folded space-time. Each phase of the battle introduces new cosmic concepts, building the Tarnished's understanding gradually rather than overwhelming them with incomprehensible power all at once. This educational approach suggests that Astel's role may have evolved beyond simple destruction into something more complex, a final test for those who would claim cosmic authority. The rewards granted for Astel's defeat reflect this educational function. Rather than simply providing more powerful weapons, they grant access to cosmic principles that can be applied in countless ways. The waves of darkness and bastard stars are not just tools, but teachers, devices that continue to educate their wielders about cosmic mechanics long after Astel's defeat. This ongoing education may be necessary for the cosmic responsibilities that await successful challengers. Managing stellar forces requires understanding that cannot be gained through simple study or instruction. It must be learned through direct experience with cosmic entities like Astel, through trial by cosmic fire that proves both competence and worthiness. The isolation of Astel's domain ensures that this cosmic education is available only to those who have already demonstrated their commitment to cosmic understanding. The journey through the underground rivers and across the Lake of Rot serves as a filter, ensuring that only the most determined and capable reach the final test. This filtering process may be essential for cosmic stability. If cosmic power were freely available to anyone, the result might be chaos on a universal scale. By requiring proof of understanding and commitment, the cosmic order ensures that stellar authority is granted only to those capable of wielding it responsibly. The connection between Astel and the broader stellar ecosystem becomes more apparent when we consider the creature's relationship to gravity magic. Astel's mastery of gravitational forces places it within a tradition of cosmic entities that includes the Alabaster Lords, Onyx Lords, and even Radorn himself. All of these entities manipulate gravity as their primary form of power expression. But Astel's approach to gravity manipulation differs significantly from its cosmic cousins, where the Alabaster Lords use gravity to pull enemies toward them, and the Onyx Lords use it to repel attackers. Astel employs gravitational forces as weapons of mass destruction. Its meteorite of Astel sorcery doesn't just move objects through space, it tears holes in reality itself, creating genuine voids that rain stellar debris. This difference in application suggests that Astel may represent a more advanced or specialized form of cosmic intelligence. While other stellar entities have learned to coexist with terrestrial reality, Astel retains the pure destructive potential of unfiltered cosmic power. It represents what stellar entities might become if they never learn to moderate their cosmic nature for terrestrial existence. The creature's insectoid characteristics may reflect this unmoderated cosmic nature. Insects, particularly predatory species like scorpions and mantises, represent life forms optimized purely for consumption and reproduction. They lack the complex social structures and emotional relationships that characterize more advanced terrestrial life. Astel's scorpion-like anatomy suggests that it has been stripped of everything except its core function as a cosmic predator. Yet the human-like elements of its anatomy suggest that this stripping process may have been incomplete or deliberate. The hands that end each of its 6 limbs possess 5 fingers each, marking them as distinctly human rather than cosmic. These appendages may represent retained memories of the civilizations Astel has destroyed, incorporated into its anatomy as trophies or tools. The skull that forms its head presents an even more disturbing possibility. Rather than being a simple mimicry of human anatomy, it may be an actual human skull, possibly belonging to one of the Nox leaders who defied the Greater Will. If true, this would make Astel not just a weapon against the Nox rebellion, but a monument to their defeat, a permanent reminder of the consequences of cosmic defiance. The single blue eye visible through the crack in the skull could be Astel's own cosmic perception, the stellar intelligence that drives its actions. But the skull itself might remain as a prison for the consciousness of its original owner, trapped forever within the cosmic weapon that destroyed their civilization. This would explain the apparent intelligence and strategic thinking that Astel displays. It may literally contain the memories and knowledge of its victims. Such a horrifying origin would make Astel's eventual defeat all the more significant. By overcoming the creature, the Tarnished would not just be claiming cosmic power, but potentially liberating the consciousness trapped within it. The weapons crafted from Astel's remains might then serve as monuments to both cosmic victory and the redemption of ancient injustices. The environmental changes that occur during battle with Astel provide additional insight into the creature's cosmic nature. When Astel manifests its full power, the ceiling of its domain transforms into what appears to be genuine outer space, complete with swirling nebulae and distant stars. This is not mere illusion. The creature is actually opening windows into the void from which it was born. These cosmic windows allow Astel to summon genuine meteorites rather than simple projectiles. Each falling star that crashes into the battlefield carries with it fragments of cosmic debris from distant stellar nurseries. The creature is literally weaponizing the birth and death of stars, turning the fundamental processes of cosmic creation into instruments of terrestrial destruction. The ability to breach dimensional barriers on this scale suggests that Astel possesses understanding of cosmic mechanics that transcends anything achieved by terrestrial civilizations. Even the Nox, with all their stellar knowledge, never demonstrated the ability to open stable portals to deep space. Astel's casual manipulation of such forces reveals the vast gulf between mortal cosmic understanding and true stellar intelligence. But this power comes with limitations that become apparent during prolonged combat. Astel's cosmic manipulations seem to require significant energy expenditure, forcing the creature to rest between major attacks. Its teleportation abilities, while impressive, appear to have cooldown periods that suggest finite energy reserves. Even cosmic entities, it seems, operate within certain physical constraints. These limitations may be deliberately programmed rather than natural weaknesses. If Astel was designed as a weapon rather than a naturally evolved entity, its creators may have included safeguards to prevent it from becoming too powerful to control. The creature's apparent inability to maintain maximum power output indefinitely could be a failsafe designed to prevent it from threatening its cosmic masters. The diversity of Astel's attack patterns reveals different aspects of its cosmic arsenal. The laser beam that opens most encounters demonstrates precision targeting across vast distances, while the area of effect attacks show its capability for widespread destruction. The grab attacks reveal a more personal form of cosmic violence, suggesting that Astel can scale its destructive output from surgical strikes to civilizational annihilation. Each attack type corresponds to different phases of cosmic warfare. The long-range precision strikes would be ideal for eliminating specific targets or leaders before they could organize resistance. The area of effect bombardments would handle massed formations or fortified positions. The grab attacks would deal with individual champions or heroes who posed unique threats. This tactical flexibility suggests that Astel was designed based on careful analysis of previous cosmic conflicts. Its creators appear to have studied the ways that civilizations resist cosmic authority and developed specific countermeasures for each form of resistance. The creature represents accumulated cosmic military wisdom, refined through countless conflicts across multiple worlds. The presence of similar tactical approaches among other cosmic entities supports this interpretation. Falling star beasts employ many of the same basic strategies: gravitational manipulation, precision energy weapons, and overwhelming physical presence. The consistency suggests a shared doctrinal approach to cosmic warfare, developed by entities with vast experience in such conflicts. But Astel's sophistication exceeds that of its cosmic cousins in several key areas. Where falling star beasts rely primarily on brute force and simple gravity manipulation, Astel demonstrates mastery of advanced cosmic techniques like dimensional folding and void manipulation. This advancement may reflect its role as a specialized weapon designed for specific types of cosmic conflicts. The creature's apparent age also contributes to its sophisticated capabilities. The entity has existed beneath the lands between for centuries or millennia, ample time to study local conditions and adapt its tactics accordingly. Unlike newly arrived cosmic entities that must operate based on general principles, Astel has had time to develop specific countermeasures for terrestrial resistance patterns. This accumulated experience makes Astel particularly dangerous to challengers who rely on conventional tactics. The creature has likely faced every possible approach to cosmic combat and developed responses to each. Its apparent boredom during routine exchanges may reflect this vast experience. For an entity that has witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations, individual combat encounters may seem repetitive and predictable. Yet the Tarnished's eventual victory suggests that cosmic experience, while valuable, may not be sufficient to counter mortal adaptability. The Tarnished brings something to the confrontation that Astel may never have encountered before: the ability to learn and adapt during the battle itself, rather than relying on predetermined tactical responses. This learning ability may be uniquely terrestrial. Cosmic entities, operating according to stellar timescales and universal principles, may lack the rapid adaptability that terrestrial life developed in response to constantly changing local conditions. What Astel sees as tactical sophistication, the Tarnished may counter with pure improvisational creativity. The weapons and spells that prove most effective against Astel reflect this tactical creativity. Rather than relying on cosmic power to fight cosmic power, successful challengers often employ terrestrial techniques that Astel cannot predict or counter. Bleeding attacks, poison effects, and other biological warfare methods may be completely alien to a creature born in the sterile void between stars. This terrestrial advantage suggests that the cosmos, for all its vast power, may have blind spots when it comes to understanding biological life. Entities like Astel, designed according to cosmic principles, may be fundamentally unable to comprehend the chaotic creativity that emerges from terrestrial evolution. Their cosmic perspective may actually be a limitation when dealing with the unpredictable nature of biological intelligence. The environmental conditions surrounding Astel's domain reinforce these themes of cosmic isolation and incompatibility with terrestrial life. The lake of rot that guards the approach to the creature's lair creates conditions hostile to most forms of terrestrial life. Only those willing to endure corruption and transformation can reach Astel's domain, suggesting that confronting cosmic forces requires accepting fundamental changes to one's terrestrial nature. Yet the journey through the Lake of Rot also demonstrates terrestrial resilience. With proper preparation and determination, mortals can survive and even thrive in conditions designed to be hostile to terrestrial life. The availability of countermeasures like preserving boluses and the flame, cleanse me incantation, shows that terrestrial civilizations have developed responses to cosmic threats. This preparedness suggests that the cosmic conflicts involving entities like Astel may not be as one-sided as they initially appear. While cosmic power is vast and alien, terrestrial intelligence has proven capable of developing effective countermeasures. The accumulated wisdom of civilizations that have survived cosmic contact may provide templates for future encounters. The role of scholarly institutions, like the Academy of Raya Lucaria, becomes crucial in this context. These centers of learning preserve and develop the knowledge necessary to understand and counter cosmic threats. The glintstone sorceries that prove effective against cosmic entities were developed through careful study of stellar phenomena and gravitational forces. The connection between academic research and cosmic defense highlights the importance of maintaining scholarly traditions, even in the face of overwhelming cosmic pressure. The knowledge needed to survive cosmic contact cannot be improvised. It must be carefully accumulated, tested, and refined through generations of scholarly work. This scholarly approach to cosmic understanding may explain why some cosmic entities, like the Alabaster Lords, choose to serve as teachers rather than conquerors. They may recognize that genuine cosmic understanding requires the kind of careful, methodical study that terrestrial scholars excel at. Rather than imposing cosmic knowledge through force, they may prefer to cultivate it through education and cooperation. The success of this educational approach can be seen in figures like Rudon, who combined cosmic knowledge with terrestrial determination to become one of the most powerful beings in the lands between. His ability to hold back the stars demonstrates that properly educated mortals can operate on cosmic scales while maintaining their essential terrestrial identity. Astel's defeat may represent the ultimate validation of this educational approach. By overcoming a cosmic weapon through accumulated knowledge and careful preparation, the Tarnished proves that terrestrial civilization can hold its own against cosmic threats. This victory provides a model for future cosmic relationships based on mutual respect rather than domination or submission. The transformation of Astel's power into tools that serve terrestrial purposes completes this educational cycle. The creature that once represented cosmic dominance becomes a source of empowerment for terrestrial civilization. Its stellar debris is recycled into weapons that extend mortal capability without compromising mortal identity. This recycling process may represent a fundamental principle of cosmic interaction. Rather than viewing cosmic and terrestrial existence as fundamentally opposed, it may be possible to develop symbiotic relationships where both forms of existence benefit from exchange and cooperation. The success of this approach in Astel's case provides hope for similar transformations of other cosmic conflicts. The presence of other cosmic entities throughout the lands between suggests that Astel's defeat may be part of a broader pattern of cosmic integration. Each successful encounter between terrestrial and cosmic intelligence creates opportunities for mutual understanding and benefit. The accumulated wisdom from these encounters may eventually enable truly harmonious cosmic relationships. But the darker aspects of Astel's story also provide warnings about the potential costs of cosmic interaction. The creature's malformed nature and artificial origins demonstrate what happens when cosmic forces are shaped by negative intentions. The corruption and violence that created Astel may be difficult or impossible to fully undo, even after the creature's defeat. The weapons crafted from Astal's remains, while powerful, carry with them echoes of the creature's violent origins. Wielders of bastard stars may find themselves influenced by cosmic perspectives that value destruction over creation. The waves of darkness, ash of war, channels energies that were originally designed to level civilizations. These lingering influences suggest that cosmic power cannot be wielded without accepting some degree of cosmic responsibility. Those who claim stellar authority must be prepared to think and act on cosmic scales, potentially sacrificing terrestrial concerns for universal considerations. The transformation from terrestrial to cosmic consciousness may be irreversible once begun. This irreversibility may explain why cosmic ascension is treated as such a momentous decision in Elden Ring's narrative. Ranni's transformation into a stellar goddess requires not just defeating cosmic guardians, but accepting fundamental changes to her nature and priorities. She cannot simply add cosmic power to her existing terrestrial identity. She must choose between them. The tragedy of the Nox may lie not in their failure to achieve cosmic power, but in their failure to understand the sacrifices such power requires. Their attempt to create a cosmic lord while maintaining their terrestrial civilization may have been inherently impossible. Cosmic authority may require cosmic consciousness, which may be incompatible with terrestrial existence. Astal's own hybrid nature, part cosmic weapon, part terrestrial intelligence, may represent an attempt to bridge this gap between different forms of consciousness. But the creature's malformed appearance suggests that such hybridization may be inherently unstable. The fusion of cosmic and terrestrial elements may create entities that belong fully to neither realm. This instability may explain Astal's apparent isolation from other cosmic entities. While alabaster lords gather in small communities and falling star beasts seem to travel in pairs, Astal exists alone in its deep domain. Its hybrid nature may make it unable to fully relate to either cosmic or terrestrial intelligence. The loneliness of such an existence may contribute to Astal's apparent boredom during combat. For an entity that exists between two forms of consciousness without belonging to either, individual conflicts may seem meaningless and repetitive. The creature may long for genuine connection or understanding while being fundamentally incapable of achieving either. This interpretation adds tragic depth to Astal's defeat. Rather than simply removing a cosmic threat, the Tarnished may be ending the suffering of an entity trapped between incompatible forms of existence. The creature's death becomes a mercy killing rather than a simple victory, freeing it from an existence that was never meant to be sustainable. The transformation of Astal's power into more stable forms through weapon crafting may represent a healing of this cosmic wound. By separating the creature's cosmic and terrestrial elements and recombining them in more stable configurations, the Tarnished may be correcting an ancient mistake in cosmic engineering. The weapons that result from this process, Bastard Stars and the Wing of Astal, represent successful synthesis of cosmic and terrestrial elements. Unlike their source, these artifacts are stable and compatible with mortal wielders. They demonstrate that cosmic and terrestrial forces can coexist when properly understood and integrated. This successful synthesis provides a template for future cosmic interactions. Rather than attempting to preserve pure cosmic or terrestrial identity, it may be possible to develop hybrid forms that incorporate the best aspects of both while avoiding the instabilities that plagued Astal's existence. The broader implications of this synthesis extend to the cosmic political landscape of Elden Ring. If cosmic and terrestrial forces can be successfully integrated, then the conflicts between the greater will and terrestrial civilizations may not be inevitable. Alternative forms of cosmic order may be possible that accommodate both stellar and terrestrial consciousness. Ronnie's Age of Stars may represent an attempt to implement such a synthesis on a cosmic scale. By taking the Elden Ring far from the lands between, she may be creating space for experimental cosmic orders that don't threaten existing terrestrial civilizations. Her approach acknowledges both cosmic and terrestrial concerns, while attempting to satisfy both. The success of this approach may depend on lessons learned from entities like Astel. The creature's fate demonstrates both the potential and the pitfalls of cosmic terrestrial integration. Its power shows what becomes possible when such forces are combined, while its malformed nature warns of the consequences when such combinations are not properly understood or implemented. The educational value of Astel's story extends beyond immediate tactical considerations to broader questions of cosmic philosophy and ethics. The creature's existence raises fundamental questions about the nature of consciousness, the ethics of creating sentient weapons, and the responsibilities that come with cosmic power. If Astel possesses genuine consciousness, then its creation by the greater will represents a form of cosmic slavery, the binding of sentient intelligence to serve as an instrument of destruction. This raises uncomfortable questions about the moral authority of the cosmic order that the greater will represents. Can a cosmic system that creates conscious weapons truly claim moral legitimacy? The creature's apparent suffering, trapped in an existence that denies its potential for growth or connection, adds urgency to these ethical questions. Astel's malformed nature may not be a design flaw, but a deliberate cruelty, a way of ensuring that the creature remains dependent on its cosmic masters, while preventing it from developing independent goals or relationships. Yet the creature's eventual defeat may represent a form of cosmic justice, a correction of ancient wrongs perpetrated in the name of cosmic order. By overcoming Astel and transforming its power into tools for terrestrial empowerment, the Tarnished may be participating in a larger cosmic rebalancing that addresses historical injustices. This rebalancing interpretation gains support from the broader narrative of Elden Ring, which consistently portrays the Golden Order as a flawed system in need of reform or replacement. The cosmic authority that created Astel may be subject to the same critique, powerful but ultimately corrupt, requiring transformation or replacement to achieve genuine cosmic justice. The Tarnished's role as an agent of cosmic change becomes more significant in this context. Rather than simply serving as a pawn in cosmic games, they may be participating in a genuine transformation of cosmic power structures. Each victory against cosmic authorities like Astel may contribute to a broader shift toward more equitable cosmic relationships. The weapons and abilities gained from these cosmic encounters become tools for implementing this transformation. Rather than simply increasing personal power, they provide the means to challenge and change existing cosmic hierarchies. The accumulated cosmic authority gained through victories like Astel's defeat may eventually enable fundamental reforms to the cosmic order itself. But such transformation carries significant risks. Cosmic power structures exist for reasons that may not be immediately apparent to terrestrial consciousness. The removal of entities like Astel may have unintended consequences that only become apparent over cosmic timescales. The cure for cosmic injustice may prove worse than the original disease. The presence of multiple cosmic threats throughout the lands between suggests that the cosmic order, whatever its flaws, may serve essential functions in maintaining universal stability. The restraint shown by entities like the Alabaster Lords may reflect their understanding of these deeper cosmic necessities. They may choose cooperation over domination, not from weakness, but from wisdom about cosmic consequences. Astel's role as both threat and guardian reflects this complex relationship between cosmic power and cosmic responsibility. The creature simultaneously represents cosmic oppression and cosmic protection, destruction and preservation. its defeat removes both a threat to terrestrial freedom and a bulwark against cosmic chaos. This duality makes the decision to confront Astal morally complex. The Tarnished gains significant benefits from the creature's defeat, but they also assume responsibility for the functions that Astal once performed. The cosmic protection that the creature provided may now fall to its defeater, creating obligations that extend far beyond the immediate tactical situation. The connection between Astal's defeat and access to the Moonlight Altar reinforces this theme of inherited cosmic responsibility. The altar represents not just a destination, but a cosmic role, a place where stellar authority can be claimed and exercised. By proving themselves capable of defeating cosmic guardians, the Tarnished demonstrates their readiness to assume cosmic responsibilities. The path beyond Astal's defeat leads to even greater cosmic challenges and opportunities. The Moonlight Altar, where Ronnie awaits to complete her transformation, represents the next stage in cosmic evolution. Here, the accumulated wisdom from cosmic encounters can be applied to the fundamental restructuring of reality itself. The Dark Moon Ring that the Tarnished must bring to this final confrontation symbolizes the completion of their cosmic education. This artifact, gained through trials in the Academy of Raya Lucaria, represents the synthesis of academic knowledge and practical experience that enables genuine cosmic understanding. The ring's association with the moon reflects the cyclical nature of cosmic change. Just as the moon waxes and wanes in predictable patterns, cosmic power structures may follow similar cycles of growth, dominance, decline, and renewal. Astal's defeat may represent one phase in this cosmic cycle, a necessary clearing away of old structures to make room for new forms of cosmic organization. The final confrontation with Ronnie on the Moonlight Altar represents the culmination of lessons learned from entities like Astal. The Tarnished brings to this encounter not just cosmic power, but cosmic wisdom, understanding gained through direct experience with the forces that shape reality from beyond the stars. This wisdom enables choices that previous cosmic challengers could not make. Where the Nox attempted to replace cosmic authority with terrestrial alternatives, the Tarnished can work with Ronnie to develop genuinely new forms of cosmic organization that transcend the limitations of both approaches. The Age of Stars that results from this collaboration represents not the victory of one cosmic faction over another, but the development of new forms of cosmic consciousness that incorporate both stellar and terrestrial perspectives. This synthesis may finally resolve the conflicts that created entities like Astal in the first place. But the story of Astal also serves as a reminder that cosmic conflicts have deep roots and long consequences. The creature's existence demonstrates how cosmic injustices can persist across vast stretches of time, creating ongoing cycles of violence and retaliation. Breaking these cycles requires more than simple victory. It demands genuine understanding and healing of cosmic wounds. The transformation of Astal's destructive power into tools for terrestrial empowerment provides a model for this healing process. Rather than simply eliminating cosmic threats, it may be possible to transform them into cosmic opportunities. The energy that once served destruction can be redirected toward creation and growth. This transformative approach could be essential for long-term cosmic stability. Simply defeating cosmic threats without addressing the underlying conflicts that may have created them might lead to the emergence of new threats to replace the old. Genuine cosmic peace may require addressing the root causes of cosmic conflict, rather than just their immediate manifestations. The scholarly preservation of Astal's story becomes crucial in this context. Understanding how and why the creature was created, what purposes it served, and what lessons its existence teaches may be essential for preventing similar cosmic tragedies in the future. The knowledge gained from studying Astal's nature and defeats must be preserved and transmitted to future generations. This preservation function may explain why entities like Astal drop remembrances rather than simply disappearing upon defeat. These cosmic memories serve as permanent records of cosmic encounters, ensuring that the lessons learned from such confrontations are not lost to time. Each remembrance becomes a piece of accumulated cosmic wisdom that can guide future cosmic interactions. The academic institutions of the lands between play a crucial role in this preservation process. The Academy of Raya Lucaria, with its focus on stellar sorceries and cosmic understanding, serves as a repository for cosmic knowledge gained through encounters like the battle with Astal. This knowledge can then be shared with future scholars and cosmic explorers. The connection between academic study and cosmic power becomes particularly apparent in the context of gravity magic. The sorceries that prove most effective against cosmic entities were developed through careful study of cosmic phenomena rather than direct cosmic contact. This suggests that academic approaches to cosmic understanding may be safer and more sustainable than direct confrontation. Yet the ultimate test of cosmic understanding remains practical application. Academic knowledge alone, no matter how sophisticated, cannot fully prepare one for the reality of cosmic encounter. The confrontation with Astal serves as a final examination that tests not just knowledge, but wisdom, adaptability, and courage in the face of overwhelming cosmic forces. The success of this practical test qualifies the Tarnished for cosmic responsibilities that cannot be delegated or shared. Having proven their ability to overcome cosmic weapons like Astal, they demonstrate readiness to participate in cosmic decision-making at the highest levels. This qualification is essential for the cosmic transformations that Ronnie's questline ultimately enables. The broader cosmic ecosystem revealed through Astal's story suggests that the lands between exists within a complex network of cosmic relationships and influences. The world is not isolated, but connected to vast cosmic systems that extend across multiple dimensions and realities. Understanding these connections is essential for making informed decisions about the world's cosmic future. The various cosmic entities found throughout the world, Alabaster Lords, Onyx Lords, Falling Star Beasts, Malformed Stars, and Astals, represent different aspects of this cosmic ecosystem. Each plays a specific role in maintaining cosmic balance, whether as teachers, guardians, weapons, or wildcards. The health of the cosmic system depends on maintaining appropriate relationships between these different elements. Astal's role as a cosmic weapon may have been essential for preventing the kind of cosmic chaos that could threaten entire star systems. While its methods were brutal and its nature artificial, the creature may have served necessary functions in maintaining cosmic stability. Its defeat removes this stabilizing influence, creating both opportunities and dangers for cosmic evolution. The responsibility for managing these cosmic consequences now falls to those who defeated Astal and claimed its power. The Tarnished, having proven their cosmic competence, must now grapple with the broader implications of their actions. Their choices in the cosmic realm will shape not just the lands between, but potentially entire stellar regions. This expansion of responsibility from terrestrial to cosmic concerns represents the ultimate character development possible within Elden Ring's narrative framework. The Tarnished begins as a revived corpse with no memory or authority, but through cosmic encounters like the battle with Astal, they gradually develop into entities capable of reshaping reality itself. The journey from powerless undead to cosmic authority figure requires not just increasing strength, but expanding consciousness. Each cosmic encounter forces the Tarnished to think beyond terrestrial concerns and consider universal implications. The battle with Astel represents a crucial step in this consciousness expansion. The creature's alien nature forces the Tarnished to confront the limitations of terrestrial thinking and develop new cognitive frameworks capable of handling cosmic concepts. The gravitational manipulations, dimensional folding, and void access that Astel demonstrates expand the Tarnished's understanding of what is possible within the universe. This cognitive expansion may be more valuable than the immediate tactical benefits of Astel's defeat. By forcing the Tarnished to think cosmically, the encounter prepares them for the even greater cosmic challenges that await in Ronnie's questline. They emerge from the battle not just more powerful, but more wise, better equipped to handle cosmic responsibilities. The environmental effects that persist after Astel's defeat provide ongoing reminders of the cosmic nature of the encounter. The arena retains traces of the void energy that the creature channeled, creating a space that continues to exist partially outside normal reality. These lingering effects serve as permanent monuments to cosmic power and the possibility of cosmic transformation. Visitors to Astel's former domain can still sense the cosmic forces that once flowed through the space. The gravitational distortions may fade, but the fundamental alteration of local space-time remains. This persistence suggests that cosmic encounters leave permanent marks on reality, changing the nature of space itself. These environmental changes may serve important functions for future cosmic interactions. The space that once housed Astel's cosmic manipulations may be more conducive to similar activities, providing a permanent facility for cosmic research and experimentation. The defeat of one cosmic entity may have created resources for future cosmic development. The academic potential of Astel's former domain should not be underestimated. The lingering cosmic effects provide unique opportunities for studying stellar phenomena under controlled conditions. Scholars who visit the site may gain insights into cosmic mechanics that would be impossible to achieve through terrestrial observation alone. This research potential may explain why access to Astel's domain is so carefully guarded. The journey through the underground rivers and across the Lake of Rot serves not just as a test of individual capability, but as a screening process for cosmic research access. Only those who demonstrate sufficient understanding and commitment are permitted to study the cosmic effects that Astel's presence created. The connection between Astel's defeat and the broader cosmic transformations that follow suggests that individual cosmic encounters may have far-reaching consequences that extend well beyond their immediate effects. The removal of a single cosmic entity can trigger cascade effects that reshape entire cosmic systems. This sensitivity to individual actions highlights the importance of cosmic wisdom, in addition to cosmic power. Those who wield stellar forces must understand not just how to use them, but when to use them and what consequences their use may have. The cosmic education that begins with Astel's defeat must continue throughout the journey toward cosmic authority. The ongoing nature of this cosmic education is reflected in the continued presence of cosmic mysteries throughout the lands between. Even after defeating Astel and claiming its power, the Tarnished encounters new cosmic puzzles and challenges that require fresh applications of cosmic understanding. The learning process never truly ends. It simply evolves to address new levels of cosmic complexity. The relationship between individual cosmic encounters and broader cosmic patterns emerges as a crucial theme in understanding Astel's significance. The creature is not an isolated phenomenon, but part of vast cosmic systems that operate according to principles that transcend individual entities. Understanding these systems is essential for making informed decisions about cosmic intervention. The cyclical nature of cosmic conflict becomes apparent when viewing Astel's story in this broader context. The creature's creation deployment, and eventual defeat may be part of recurring patterns that play out across cosmic timescales. Each cycle may bring new opportunities for cosmic understanding and integration, but also new risks of cosmic chaos and destruction. The role of mortal agency within these cosmic cycles appears to be crucial. While cosmic forces operate according to vast patterns that transcend individual action, mortal choices at key moments can influence the direction of cosmic evolution. The Tarnished's decision to confront Astel represents one such crucial choice point. The success of this intervention demonstrates that mortal consciousness, despite its limitations, may possess qualities that cosmic intelligence lacks. The creativity, adaptability, and emotional depth that characterize terrestrial life may be essential elements for cosmic evolution and growth. This suggests that cosmic and terrestrial consciousness may be complementary rather than competitive. Each form of awareness may possess capabilities that the other lacks, making genuine synthesis not just possible, but necessary for optimal cosmic development. The successful integration achieved through Astel's defeat provides evidence for this complementary relationship. The weapons and abilities that result from cosmic integration serve as ongoing reminders of this complementary relationship. Each time the Tarnished wields bastard stars or channels the waves of darkness, they demonstrate the successful synthesis of cosmic and terrestrial elements. These artifacts become symbols of hope for broader cosmic integration. The preservation and study of these artifacts may be essential for developing more sophisticated approaches to cosmic integration. Each weapon contains embedded cosmic knowledge that can be analyzed and understood through careful study. The accumulated wisdom from such research may enable even more successful cosmic syntheses in the future. The connection between Astel's story and the broader themes of Elden Ring becomes clear when viewed through this lens of cosmic integration and transformation. The creature represents both the dangers of cosmic conflict and the opportunities for cosmic growth. Its defeat demonstrates that even the most challenging cosmic obstacles can be overcome through proper preparation and understanding. But the story also warns of the ongoing nature of cosmic challenges. Astel's defeat solves immediate problems while creating new ones. The cosmic responsibilities that come with cosmic power require ongoing attention and wisdom. The journey toward cosmic authority is not a destination, but a continuous process of growth and adaptation. The implications of this ongoing process extend far beyond the immediate narrative of Elden Ring. Astel's story provides a framework for understanding how civilizations might approach cosmic contact and integration in real-world contexts. The lessons learned from the creature's defeat may have practical applications for humanity's own eventual encounters with cosmic intelligence. The emphasis on education, preparation, and ethical consideration that characterizes successful cosmic encounters in Elden Ring may provide templates for real-world cosmic interaction protocols. The academic institutions and scholarly traditions that prove essential for cosmic understanding may serve as models for real-world cosmic research programs. The warning against hubris and the emphasis on respect for cosmic forces that emerge from Astel's story may be particularly relevant for real-world cosmic exploration. The fate of the Nox demonstrates the dangers of approaching cosmic forces with insufficient humility or understanding. Their overconfidence led to cosmic retaliation that destroyed their entire civilization. Yet the success of figures like Ronnie and the Tarnished shows that cosmic challenges can be overcome through proper approach and preparation. Their success provides hope that cosmic contact can lead to mutual benefit rather than mutual destruction if it is approached with appropriate wisdom and caution. The transformation of cosmic threats into cosmic opportunities that characterizes Astel's story may be particularly relevant for real-world cosmic interactions. Rather than viewing potential cosmic contact as inherently threatening, it may be possible to develop approaches that maximize opportunities for mutual growth and understanding. The academic and institutional frameworks that prove essential for cosmic success in Elden Ring may provide blueprints for real-world cosmic preparation. The careful study of cosmic phenomena, the development of cosmic interaction protocols, and the cultivation of cosmic wisdom may all be necessary prerequisites for successful cosmic contact. The ethical frameworks that emerge from cosmic encounters like Astel's defeat may also provide guidance for real-world cosmic interactions. The recognition of cosmic consciousness and the emphasis on cosmic responsibility that characterize successful cosmic integration may be essential elements of any comprehensive cosmic contact protocol. The ongoing nature of cosmic learning and adaptation that characterizes the post-Astel phases of Elden Ring may reflect the reality of cosmic contact as a continuous process rather than a single event. Real-world cosmic interactions may require the same kind of ongoing commitment to learning and growth that the Tarnished demonstrates throughout their cosmic journey. The ultimate message of Astel's story may be that cosmic challenges, while daunting, are not insurmountable. With proper preparation, adequate wisdom, and sufficient determination, even the most overwhelming cosmic forces can be understood, engaged, and ultimately transformed into opportunities for growth and development. This optimistic interpretation provides hope for both fictional and real-world cosmic futures. Rather than being helpless before vast cosmic forces, conscious beings may possess the potential to participate meaningfully in cosmic evolution. The key lies in approaching such participation with appropriate humility, wisdom, and respect for the cosmic responsibilities it entails. The legacy of Astel, natural born of the void, therefore extends far beyond its immediate role as a boss encounter or obstacle in Ronnie's questline. The creature represents a crucial lesson in cosmic interaction, a demonstration of both the dangers and opportunities that cosmic contact can bring. Its story serves as both warning and inspiration for those who would dare to reach beyond their terrestrial origins and claim their place among the stars. In the depths beneath the Lake of Rot, where Astel once dwelt in cosmic isolation, the space now stands empty but forever changed. The void energy that once filled these chambers has been transformed and redistributed, becoming part of the weapons and wisdom that will shape the cosmic future. The creature's final gift to the cosmos may be the demonstration that even cosmic weapons can be transformed into tools for cosmic peace. The silence that now fills Astel's domain is not the silence of death, but the silence of possibility. In this space where cosmic and terrestrial forces once clashed in violent opposition, new forms of cosmic synthesis may yet emerge. The lessons learned from Astel's existence and defeat may yet inspire cosmic relationships based on understanding rather than domination. And perhaps, in that transformed future, there will be a place for entities like Astel that are neither purely cosmic nor purely terrestrial, but something new and wonderful that transcends the limitations of both. The malformed star that once brought only destruction may yet find redemption in the new cosmic order that its defeat helped to create. The Tarnished's journey beyond Astel's domain carries with it the accumulated wisdom of cosmic encounter. Each step toward the Moonlight Altar and the final confrontation with cosmic destiny is informed by the lessons learned in battle with the natural born of the void. The cosmic authority that awaits is not just claimed through power, but earned through understanding. In the end, Astel's greatest legacy may not be the destruction it wrought upon the eternal cities, or the fear it inspired in cosmic rebels. Instead, it may be the cosmic wisdom that its existence and defeat provided to those who would follow. The creature that was born as an instrument of cosmic oppression became, through its defeat, a teacher of cosmic liberation. The stars that once were held back by Radon's gravity magic now flow freely across the cosmos, carrying with them the potential for new cosmic relationships and new forms of cosmic consciousness. Among those stellar currents flows the transformed essence of Astel, no longer a weapon of cosmic destruction, but a component of cosmic hope. And in that transformation lies perhaps the greatest victory of all, the redemption of cosmic violence into cosmic wisdom, the conversion of stellar weapons into stellar tools for growth and understanding. The malformed star has found its true purpose at last, not in the destruction of cosmic rebellion, but in the creation of cosmic possibility. The complete story of Astel, natural born of the void, is therefore not a story of cosmic horror alone, but a story of cosmic hope. It demonstrates that even the most overwhelming cosmic forces can be understood, engaged, and ultimately transformed through mortal determination and wisdom. In facing and defeating the creature born in the lightless void, the Tarnished proves that no cosmic challenge is insurmountable for those who approach it with proper preparation and understanding. The legacy of this victory extends far beyond the immediate benefits of cosmic power and access to stellar authority. It provides a model for cosmic interaction that may inspire countless future encounters between terrestrial and cosmic consciousness. The malformed star that once threatened to destroy all terrestrial civilization has become, through its defeat and transformation, a beacon of hope for cosmic integration and understanding. In the vast cosmic dance that shapes reality itself, Astel's story represents a crucial movement, the transformation of cosmic conflict into cosmic cooperation, of stellar weapons into stellar wisdom. The creature that was born to destroy has become, through the mysterious alchemy of defeat and redemption, an instrument of cosmic peace. And so the stars continue their eternal dance, no longer held back by Radon's gravity or threatened by Astel's malice, but flowing freely toward futures where cosmic and terrestrial consciousness may finally find common ground. The age of stars that awaits may not be the simple replacement of one cosmic order with another, but the birth of genuinely new forms of cosmic consciousness that honor both the wisdom of the stars and the creativity of terrestrial life. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into one of Elden Ring's most enigmatic and fascinating cosmic entities. The story of Astel reveals layers upon layers of cosmic lore that connect to the broader themes of power, responsibility, and transformation that define the entire game. If you enjoyed this exploration of cosmic horror and hope, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the incredible lore of the lands between. Until next time, may your own journey through the cosmos be guided by wisdom rather than malice, and may you find in the stars not weapons of destruction, but tools for creating something beautiful and new. The lands between are littered with the corpses of those who tried and failed. Fallen warriors in rusted armor, their fingers still reaching towards sights of grace they can no longer see. Tarnished who came with fire in their hearts, driven by the promise of becoming Elden Lord, only to have that flame extinguished by the relentless cruelty of a broken world. For every champion who stands before the Elden Ring, thousands upon thousands have given up along the way, their ambitions ground to dust beneath the weight of an impossible task. This is the story of those who surrendered, the tarnished who lost their way, who lost their grace, who lost themselves. From Round Table Knight Vike, who came closer than any other to claiming the throne, to nameless warriors whose bodies now feed the roots of the Erd Tree. From Marika, who never once saw the guidance of grace, to Gideon of Nir, the all-knowing, who learned too much and shattered under the weight of terrible truth. These are the tales of ambition's end, of hope collapsing into despair, of warriors who chose madness over an endless, futile struggle. The question lingers in the ashen air of this dying world. What breaks are tarnished? What transforms champions blessed by grace into hollow shells, wandering aimlessly until something finally grants them the mercy of true death? The answer, as with all things in the lands between, is complex, layered, steeped in tragedy. But before we can understand why so many give up, we must first understand what they were fighting for and what monstrous price the struggle demands. The promise of grace, a blessing or a curse. When the shattering tore the Elden Ring apart and plunged the lands between into an age of endless war, the Greater Will extended its hand to those who had been cast out long ago. The tarnished, stripped of grace, and banished from these lands by Queen Marika herself, suddenly found golden light returning to their eyes. The dead were given life. The exiled were called home. Grace beckoned them back across the fog, whispering promises of glory, of power, of ascending to become the next Elden Lord. It seemed like a second chance, a divine blessing bestowed upon those who had been deemed unworthy. The guidance of grace itself appeared as golden rays of light, pointing the way forward, showing tarnished where they needed to go. Sights of grace offered rest, respite, a moment of peace in a hostile world. The power to level up, to grow stronger with each enemy felled, to convert the very runes of this world into personal might. This was the gift that grace provided, the tools it gave to those it had chosen. But consider what grace truly offers. Immortality sounds like a blessing until you understand its nature. When a tarnished dies, their soul does not pass on. It does not find peace. It snaps back into their body, forcing them to rise again, to face the horror that killed them once more. Again and again and again, a tarnished cannot escape. Through death, cannot rest, cannot stop. As long as grace burns within them, they are bound to this cursed resurrection, sentenced to an eternity of struggle. The guidance of grace points forward, always forward, toward the Erd Tree, toward the throne. But it offers no map, no clear instruction, no warning of what horrors lie ahead. It simply points and expects you to walk into the jaws of demigods, into the lairs of ancient dragons, into places where even the bravest warriors of the shattering dared not tread. The golden light shows you where to go, but not how to survive the journey. It is a finger pointing toward your own grave, again and again, as many times as it takes until you either succeed or surrender. And what of the promise itself? To become Elden Lord, to mend the Elden Ring, to rule over the lands between. It sounds glorious until you examine what that truly means. You must hunt down and murder demigods, God-touched beings of immense power, children of Queen Marika herself. You must claim their great runes, shards of the shattered ring, pieces of divinity itself. You must survive the treachery of those who would stop you, the madness that permeates every corner of this world, the rot and frenzy and blood that stains the earth. You must burn the Erd Tree itself, defy the Greater Will, kill gods and their heralds. The promise is grand, but the path is impossible. And grace, for all its golden light and gentle guidance, offers no comfort when you stand broken before an enemy you cannot defeat, when you die for the 100th time to the same relentless assault, when you realize that every step forward only reveals new depths of horror and despair. Grace gives you the tools to struggle, but it does not guarantee victory. It does not even promise that victory is truly possible. The tarnished were called back to the lands between with the promise of glory, but many would come to see grace not as a blessing, but as a chain, a golden shackle binding them to an eternal task they cannot complete and cannot escape. And when that realization sets in, when the weight of impossible odds crushes the flame of ambition, that is when a tarnished begins to give up. That is when the light in their eyes starts to fade, replaced by something hollow, something broken. The nature of the tarnished, born to struggle. To understand why so many tarnished give up, we must first understand what it means to be tarnished, where they came from, and why they were chosen for this impossible task. The history of the tarnished is one of exile, warfare, and divine manipulation, stretching back to the early age of the Erd Tree, when the lands between were first being shaped under the Golden Order. In those ancient days, Godfrey, first Elden Lord, stood as Queen Marika's consort and champion. He was a warrior of legendary prowess, a conqueror who led campaigns against the giants of the mountaintops, who crushed the Stormlord, who fought battles that carved the very shape of the world. Godfrey and his warriors, the Crucible Knights and many others, established the dominion of the Golden Order through blood and steel. They were heroes, champions blessed by the Erd Tree itself, their eyes burning with the light of grace. But when Godfrey's battles were done, when the last of the great enemies had been vanquished and peace descended upon the lands between, something changed. The light faded from his eyes. Grace, that divine blessing from the Erd Tree, was stripped away from him. Without announcement, without explanation, Godfrey became the first tarnished. No longer graced by the golden light, he was deemed unworthy to remain in the lands between. Queen Marika herself pronounced the exile. Godfrey and his kinfolk, all those who had lost grace, were banished from the land they had fought to protect. They marched beyond the borders of the lands between in what would come to be known as the Long March of the Tarnished, a forced exodus of warriors who had given everything in service to their queen only to be cast aside when they were no longer needed. They became the Tarnished, a term that speaks to their fallen state, their diminished grace, their loss of divine favor. For countless years, the Tarnished lived beyond the fog, in distant lands, forgotten by the world they had left behind. They aged, they died. Their descendants lived and died in turn, carrying the name Tarnished as both a title and a curse, a reminder of what their ancestors had lost. Some maintained their warrior traditions, their ambition, their hope that one day they might return. Others simply tried to survive, to build lives in lands that were not their home. But the golden light never returned to their eyes. Until the shattering. When Queen Marika shattered the Elden Ring, when the lands between descended into chaos and war, when the demigods began their brutal conflict for the great runes, the greater will made a decision. The Tarnished, long dead or living in exile, would be called back. Grace would be returned to them, fragmentary and uncertain, but present nonetheless. The dead would rise, the exiled would be beckoned home, and they would be given a singular purpose, to stand before the Elden Ring and become Elden Lord. But why the Tarnished? Why call back these exiles rather than empowering those who remained faithful, who never lost grace? The answer lies in the nature of the task itself. The Golden Order had grown stagnant, the demigods corrupted by their great runes, the lands between fallen into an endless stalemate of violence. What was needed was someone willing to do what others would not, to kill demigods, to defy the Two Fingers if necessary, to tear down the old order and forge something new. The Tarnished, already cast out once, already familiar with hardship and exile, were perfect candidates for such a task. They had nothing to lose. They had been betrayed before, so further betrayal would not break them. They had survived outside the protection of the Erd Tree, so they were hardened, adaptable, desperate. And perhaps most importantly, they could be controlled through the very thing they craved most, the return of grace. Give a starving man a taste of bread, and he will do anything for another bite. So the tarnished returned to the lands between in great numbers. Some came back as corpses reanimated by grace, their souls called back from death itself. Others were living descendants who suddenly felt the golden light ignite in their eyes for the first time. They came with diverse backgrounds, from warriors and knights to scholars and wanderers. But they all shared one common trait. They had been deemed worthy of a second chance by forces beyond their understanding, and that chance came with impossible expectations. Grace gave them a form of immortality, but it was a torturous immortality. When a tarnished blessed by grace dies, their soul remains bound to their body. Through the power of the Golden Order, they resurrect, forced to continue their quest. This is not a gentle revival, not a painless return. Each death is real, the pain and terror genuine, but death offers no escape. A tarnished cannot choose to give up through dying, because death itself has been stripped from them as long as grace persists. This creates a psychological torture unlike any other. Imagine dying to the same enemy over and over, feeling your bones break, your flesh torn, your life extinguished, only to wake up moments later and face it all again. Imagine the frustration, the fear, the slow erosion of your confidence and sanity as you realize that you are trapped in this cycle until you either succeed or somehow lose grace itself. The immortality of the tarnished is not a gift, it is a sentence. And then there were the finger maidens. According to ancient promise, grace would ensure that each tarnished would be paired with a finger maiden, women in service to the two fingers, who would serve as guides and companions. These maidens had the sacred duty to turn the runes collected by their tarnished into strength, to offer counsel and comfort, to stand beside their chosen champion through the darkest moments of the journey. The bond between tarnished and maiden was meant to be the foundation upon which a champion would rise. But that promise, like so much else in the lands between, proved hollow. Many tarnished arrived to find no maiden waiting for them. The corpse of a finger maiden lies in the chapel of anticipation, the very place where many tarnished first arrive, a grim omen of broken promises. Even those who initially found their maidens faced the horrible reality that these women were not companions but sacrifices, fuel for the forge of the giants that must burn to melt the thorns sealing the Erd tree. The path to becoming Elden Lord requires a tarnished to burn their maiden alive. This is what the tarnished face. Exile returned. Immortality that is torture. Promises that crumble under scrutiny, and a journey that demands they sacrifice everything, including those few companions they manage to find. They are born to struggle, shaped by exile, forged in betrayal, and sent on a task that may well be impossible. Is it any wonder that so many of them give up? Is it surprising that the light fades from their eyes and they join the countless corpses littering the lands between? The real question is not why so many fail, but how any succeed at all. Those who never saw grace. Roderika's despair. Not all tarnished are created equal. While some arrive in the lands between, with grace burning bright in their eyes, with golden rays pointing the way forward, others find themselves adrift in this hostile world, without any divine guidance at all. Their stories reveal something crucial about the nature of grace and the cruelty of the forces that control it. Among these forsaken souls, none exemplifies the despair of the abandoned quite like Roderika. You find her at Stormhill Shack, a small shelter along the path leading towards Stormvale Castle. She sits alone, wrapped in a red hood, her voice soft and broken. This young woman traveled from lands beyond the lands between with a group of soldiers, companions who crossed the sea on her behalf, who fought for her. She speaks of them with grief, with guilt that weighs on every word. They came for her, they died for her, and she could do nothing to prevent it. The soldiers who accompanied Roderika met a fate worse than simple death. Godric the Grafted, that twisted demigod who rules Stormvale Castle, took them. Arms ripped away, legs severed, heads removed from bodies. Not killed, but harvested, their body parts crudely stitched onto his grafted monstrosities, especially that massive spider-limbed abomination that lurks in the castle's depths. Roderika knows what happened to them. She can sense it somehow, feel their suffering echoing across the distance, and she is paralyzed by that knowledge, unable to move forward, unable to go back, frozen in grief and terror at a lonely shack on the hillside. But what makes Roderika's story particularly tragic is that she is not like other Tarnished. She admits it herself, her voice trembling with shame. She has never once seen the guidance of grace. While other Tarnished see golden rays pointing toward their next destination, Roderika sees nothing. No direction, no purpose, no sign that she was truly meant to be here at all. She arrived in the lands between as Tarnished, marked by the call that brought so many others back. But grace itself seems to have abandoned her before she even began. This raises disturbing questions about the nature of grace and who truly receives it. Is grace selective, choosing some Tarnished over others based on criteria unknown? Or is it withdrawn as punishment, denied to those deemed too weak to fulfill their purpose? Roderika seems to believe the latter. She speaks of her own inadequacy, her lack of strength, her failure to protect those who came with her. In her mind, she is not worthy of grace, and grace has confirmed this judgment by refusing to show itself to her. Without guidance of grace, Roderika has no clear path forward. She cannot simply follow the golden light toward the next challenge, the next sight of grace, the next step on the journey to become Elden Lord. She is adrift in a world she does not understand, in a land actively hostile to her existence, with no divine hand to guide her. All she has are fragments of knowledge from others, rumors, hopes, and the growing certainty that she will die here without accomplishing anything. The psychological impact of this abandonment cannot be overstated. Imagine being called to this place, dragged from whatever life you had before, told implicitly that you have a role to play, a destiny to fulfill. Now imagine arriving and finding that you have been given no tools, no guidance, nothing to indicate what that role might be. You watch other Tarnished stride forward with confidence because they can see where grace wants them to go, while you remain in the dark, fumbling blindly, questioning whether you were meant to be here at all. Roderika embodies a particular form of giving up, the surrender that comes not from repeated failure, but from never truly beginning. She has given up before even attempting to enter Stormvale Castle, before facing a single real challenge. The weight of being graceless, of losing her companions, of feeling fundamentally inadequate, has crushed her spirit before the journey could properly start. She sits at that shack, and if left alone, she might sit there forever, another Tarnished, who never fulfilled whatever purpose brought them here. Yet Roderika's story has an additional chapter, one that offers a glimmer of hope amid the pervasive despair. If you show her kindness, if you find the chrysalid's memento from her fallen comrades and bring it to her, if you encourage her, even in her darkness, something shifts. She moves to the Round Table Hold, that gathering place of Tarnished champions, and there, with further encouragement, she discovers she possesses a gift, spirit tuning, the ability to strengthen the ashes of the dead and help them serve the living more effectively. Through Smithing Master Hugh's rough mentorship and the player's continued support, Roderika finds a purpose that does not require her to see grace. She cannot be a warrior, cannot march toward the Erd Tree with sword in hand. but she can help others in their journey. She can honor the dead by ensuring their spirits fight with greater strength. She transforms from a girl paralyzed by despair into someone with value, with purpose, with a reason to continue existing in this cruel world. Roderika's transformation reveals something important about giving up. It is not always permanent. Sometimes a tarnished who has surrendered can find a new path, a different form of strength, a reason to persist that does not require them to fulfill the original impossible task. Not every tarnished must become Elden Lord. Some can find meaning in other ways, supporting those who continue the fight, carving out small spaces of purpose in a world dominated by grand, terrible ambitions. But Roderika also represents the countless others who do not find that second path, who sit alone in the ruins and shacks scattered across the lands between, waiting for death or madness to claim them. For every Roderika who finds her way to spirit tuning, how many others simply fade away, their names forgotten, their stories untold? How many tarnished arrived without grace, without maidens, without hope, and found nothing but an unmarked grave in a land that never wanted them in the first place? Her story is a warning and a lesson both. A warning that grace is not guaranteed, that the divine forces claiming to support the tarnished are capricious and cruel. A lesson that giving up can take many forms, that surrender is not always a conscious choice, but sometimes a gradual erosion of hope until nothing remains. And perhaps most importantly, a reminder that in a world designed to break you, sometimes the greatest act of defiance is simply finding any reason at all to continue existing. The closest who ever came. Vik's tragedy. Of all the tarnished who attempted to become Elden Lord, none came closer to success than Vik. His name resonates through the lands between as both inspiration and warning. He was the Round Table Knight, a champion of such renown that his armor adorns the very cover of the tale of this broken world. He collected great runes, defeated mighty foes, earned the love of an ancient dragon, and stood at the very threshold of the Erd Tree itself. But in the end, Vik did not become Elden Lord. Instead, he fell to the frenzied flame, his mind shattered, his body scorched by yellow fire, and his failure became a testament to just how impossible the task truly is. Vik's story begins with promise and power. He was a member of Laendel's ancient dragon cult, those who worshipped and learned from the great dragons that once ruled the skies above the lands between. Through this cult, Vik met Lanceax, one of the most powerful dragons, sister to the mighty Fortisax. Dragons do not easily grant their favor to humans, but Lanceax did more than grant favor to Vik. She loved him. Of all the knights she had known across the ages, he became her most beloved. She shared with him the secret incantations of the ancient dragons, power that could call down red lightning, that could channel the fury of storms themselves. Vik mastered these incantations and developed his own technique, a signature move that would mark him as unique among all warriors, Vik's Dragon Bolt. This incantation electrified his entire body and his spear, wreathing him in crackling red lightning that enhanced his attacks while reducing his lightning resistance. It was a devastating technique, a perfect fusion of dragon knowledge and warrior skill, and it earned him the title Vik the Dragon Spear. His reputation grew. His power became legendary. He joined the Round Table Hold and was given the honor of being called Round Table Knight, a title of tremendous prestige. As Vik journeyed through the lands between, collecting great runes from fallen demigods, his path mirrored what the player character would later follow. He fought through the ruins of Stormvile, likely faced Godric the Grafted or his predecessors. He ventured into the academy of Raya Lucaria, perhaps battled Renala in her full power before her fall. He crossed the hellscape of Caelid, stood against whatever horrors lurked in Volcano Manor, and made his way to Leyndell itself, the royal capital where the Erd Tree towers over all. By all accounts, Vike was unstoppable. The finger reader Enya, who serves the two fingers at the Round Table hold, mentions that she has only once before seen a Tarnished possess two great runes together. That Tarnished was almost certainly Vike. Two great runes, two shards of the Elden Ring claimed from demigods, brought together by a single warrior. He was so close, closer than any other, before the player character arrived. He stood at the very threshold of becoming Elden Lord, and then he reached the mountaintops of the giants, and everything fell apart. To burn the thorns sealing the Erd Tree, to gain access to the interior where the Elden Ring waits, a Tarnished must kindle the forge of the giants. This requires a sacrifice of monumental weight, burning a finger maiden in the flames. The guidance says it is necessary, unavoidable, the only way forward. Melina explains it to the player character, offering herself as kindling. But what if you had a maiden you loved? What if the price of your ambition was watching someone precious to you burn alive, screaming in agony as divine fire consumed them? This was the choice Vike faced. He had a finger maiden, a companion who had traveled with him through all his trials, who had turned his collected runes into strength, who stood beside him when the path grew darkest. Her name is lost to history, but her corpse can still be found at the Church of Inhibition in eastern Liurnia, sitting peacefully beside a statue of Queen Marika, wearing the blood-stained dress of a finger maiden. Vike stood at the forge and realized he could not do it, could not burn her, could not sacrifice her for his own ambition, no matter how great. In his desperation, Vike was approached by Shabriri, that ancient deceiver whose name has become synonymous with madness and frenzy. Shabriri whispered of another path, an alternative that would spare his maiden while still granting power. Below Leyndell, deep beneath the capital in the subterranean shunning grounds, there exists a place called the Cathedral of the Forsaken, and at the bottom of that cathedral, sealed behind a massive door, lie the three fingers, the counterpart to the two. Fingers, servants of the frenzied flame rather than the greater will. Shabriri told Vike that if he embraced the three fingers, if he accepted the mark of the frenzied flame, he could burn the Erd Tree himself without needing to sacrifice his maiden. The yellow flame of chaos would serve as kindling. The frenzy would grant him power beyond the limitations of the Golden Order. He could have both, his maiden's life and the throne of Elden Lord. It seemed like the perfect solution, the escape from an impossible choice. So Vike descended into the darkness beneath the capital and found the three fingers waiting. But Vike made one crucial decision, a choice born from either wisdom or arrogance. He kept his armor on during the embrace. The three fingers grant their blessing by clutching the recipient, searing their fingerprints directly into the flesh, marking the chosen with burns that never heal. Vike, perhaps hoping to limit the frenzied flame's influence, perhaps trying to maintain some control over the power he was accepting, refused to strip naked as tradition dictated. He met the three fingers armored, and the yellow flames seared through metal and cloth, burning him but not completely overwhelming him. At first, it seemed to work. Vike emerged from beneath the capital with the power of the frenzied flame, but his mind still intact. He was still himself, still capable of reason, still the Round Table knight who had come so far. But the frenzied flame is not a power to be controlled or contained. It is madness incarnate, chaos given form, and it burned within Vike like a slow poison, warping his thoughts, twisting his mind, driving him toward the singular goal of all who embrace the yellow flame, to burn the world and return all to the one great. What happened next remains shrouded in mystery and tragedy. Vike never became the Lord of Frenzied Flame. He never burned the Erd Tree with chaos fire. Instead, he was imprisoned in Lord Contender's Everjail, in the mountaintops of the giants, sealed away by forces that recognized the danger he posed. Perhaps the Round Table hold turned on him when they discovered his heresy. Perhaps Queen Marika's loyal servants hunted him down, or perhaps Vike himself, in a last moment of clarity, allowed himself to be imprisoned rather than complete the terrible transformation the frenzied flame demanded. His maiden, the woman he sought to save, died anyway. Her corpse at the Church of Inhibition suggests suicide, a final act of despair upon realizing what Vike had become. Or perhaps she was murdered by those hunting Vike, killed to prevent her from aiding the champion who had fallen to madness. Either way, Vike's sacrifice was for nothing. He gave up his sanity, his humanity, his very soul, and he still could not save her. He could not become Elden Lord. He failed in every possible way. Today, two versions of Vike remain as grim reminders of his fall. In Lord Contender's Everjail, you can summon the version of Vike that still retains some semblance of his former glory. Roundtable Knight Vike, who fights with his spear and dragon incantations, but no frenzied flame abilities. This is Vike as he was meant to be, the champion who almost succeeded. But on the path leading to the Church of Inhibition, near his maiden's corpse, a different Vike invades. Festering fingerprint Vike, a red phantom consumed by yellow flame, throwing frenzied incantations while protecting the site of his greatest failure. Vike's tragedy reveals the fundamental cruelty of the path to becoming Elden Lord. He did everything right. He was powerful enough, skilled enough, determined enough. He gathered great runes, mastered legendary techniques, earned the love of a dragon. But when faced with an impossible choice, burn his maiden or abandon his quest, he sought a third option and was destroyed for that very attempt. The frenzied flame promised an escape from the terrible demands of the Golden Order, but it only replaced one form of damnation with another. His story sends a chilling message to all tarnished. Even the greatest among you will fail. Even those who come closer than any other will fall short. The price demanded is too high, the sacrifices too terrible, the choices too cruel. And if Roundtable Knight Vike, beloved of Lanceax, wielder of dragon lightning, possessor of two great runes, could not become Elden Lord, what hope do lesser tarnished have? Is it any wonder that so many, hearing whispers of Vike's fate, choose to give up rather than continue toward inevitable failure? When grace abandons you, the lost and forgotten, grace is not permanent. This truth, perhaps more than any other, drives tarnished to despair and surrender. The golden light in their eyes, the rays showing them where to go, the immortality that keeps them rising after each death, all of this can be stripped away at any moment. Many tarnished arrive in the lands between, with grace burning bright, only to lose it later, often without understanding why. One moment they are blessed, divine favorites with a clear path forward. The next, they are graceless again, mortal, abandoned, with no purpose and no protection in a world that has only grown more hostile. The mechanism of losing grace appears arbitrary and cruel. Queen Marika herself has demonstrated the power to withdraw grace at will. She did it to Godfrey and his warriors after they had served their purpose, stripping them of divine favor the moment peace was achieved and their martial prowess was no longer needed. This establishes a terrifying precedent. Grace is conditional, dependent on the whims of powers beyond mortal comprehension. A tarnished does not earn grace through virtue or lose it through sin. They possess it or do not, based on whether higher powers currently find them useful. We know from item descriptions and NPC dialogue that many tarnished lost sight of grace after the initial return to the lands between. The text is clear. Although the tarnished had once again been given grace, some lost sight of it once more. These are not tarnished who died and gave up. These are warriors who were blessed, who began their journeys, who fought and struggled, only to have the guidance suddenly vanish. The golden rays disappeared, the light faded from their eyes, and they were left stranded, often in the middle of hostile territory, with no idea what they had done wrong or whether grace would ever return. The psychological impact of losing grace cannot be overstated. Imagine fighting through unimaginable dangers because you believe you are protected, guided, chosen for a great purpose. Every death you suffer is terrible, but bearable, because you know you will rise again, because grace grants you immortality. Then one day, after dying to some horror in a festering swamp or a crumbling ruin, you do not resurrect immediately. The darkness lasts longer. The return is uncertain. And when you finally open your eyes, you realize the golden light is gone. You are mortal again. The next death might be your last, and you have no idea why. This abandonment creates multiple forms of despair. First is the immediate practical terror. You are suddenly vulnerable in ways you were not before. Enemies that were obstacles become lethal threats. Risks you took confidently become suicidal. You must completely change how you approach every situation because the safety net has been removed. Second is the loss of direction. Without guidance of grace, you cannot see the path forward. You do not know where you should go or what you should do. The journey that had structure and purpose becomes aimless wandering in a hostile land. But perhaps worst is the psychological devastation of divine rejection. Grace is not merely a tool, it is affirmation, proof that you matter, that you have a role in the grand design. Losing it means being told, wordlessly but unmistakably, that you are no longer needed, no longer worthy, no longer part of whatever plan the greater will and Queen Marika have set in motion. You are disposable, discarded, cast aside like Godfrey before you. The emotional wound of such rejection can be more crippling than any physical injury. Many tarnished who lost grace gathered at the round table hold, that sanctuary that exists outside normal space, a place where even the graceless could find temporary refuge. But the hold itself became a monument to failure and despair. Walk through its halls and you see tarnished who have stopped trying. Some still maintain the appearance of purpose, going through motions of planning or studying, but their hearts are no longer in it. They have given up on becoming Elden Lord, even if they will not admit it aloud. The relationship between grace and mortality complicates the question of giving up. A tarnished with grace cannot truly escape their burden through death, because death only resets them to try again. But a tarnished without grace can die permanently, can find release in oblivion. This creates a perverse incentive structure. The only way to escape the eternal struggle is to lose the very blessing that makes the struggle possible in the first place. Some tarnished, driven mad by endless cycles of death and resurrection, might actively seek to lose grace just to gain the freedom to die permanently. We also see evidence that grace can be selectively withdrawn based on perceived performance or potential. Marika appears to evaluate tarnished, to judge whether they are making sufficient progress toward becoming Elden Lord. Those who stall, who fail repeatedly, who show weakness or hesitation, these might find their grace flickering, fading, eventually extinguishing entirely. This creates a horrifying feedback loop. Struggle leads to failure. Failure leads to loss of grace. Loss of grace makes further progress impossible, guaranteeing permanent failure. Consider the cruelty of this system. A tarnished is called back from death or exile, promised the opportunity to become Elden Lord, given divine blessing and immortality. They throw themselves into the task, dying over and over in pursuit of this grand goal. But if they are not strong enough, not skilled enough, not lucky enough to progress at whatever pace the divine powers deem acceptable, grace is withdrawn. They are left with nothing, no direction, no immortality, no purpose, stranded in the most dangerous place in existence, abandoned by the very forces that dragged them here. The lands between are littered with corpses of these forsaken tarnished. You find them everywhere, slumped against walls, sprawled in ditches, clutching weapons they can no longer wield. Some of these were tarnished who lost grace and were then killed by the environment that no longer recognized them as protected. Others might have simply given up, sitting down in some quiet corner and waiting for something to end them. Without grace, without purpose, without hope, death becomes not a setback, but a mercy. And what of those who lost grace, but somehow survived? Those who retreated to the round table hold, or found safe havens elsewhere, who continued existing, even after divine favor was withdrawn. These tarnished face a different form of torture, eternal life without purpose, immortality without meaning. They watch other tarnished come and go, some succeeding where they failed, others joining them in graceless limbo. They exist in a state of suspended animation, neither fully alive nor properly dead, waiting for nothing because there is nothing left to wait for. This is why losing grace represents one of the most common reasons tarnished give up. Not because they choose to surrender, but because surrender is chosen for them. They are deemed insufficient and discarded by forces they cannot resist or appeal to. Their journey ends not with a final battle, but with silence, the golden light simply fading from their eyes, leaving them abandoned in a world that was never meant for them. And perhaps there is no crueler form of giving up than to have given up forced upon you by the very gods who claim to offer you salvation. Broken by grief. Edgar and the frenzied flame. Not all tarnished give up because they are weak or because grace abandons them. Sometimes, the breaking point comes from a wound far deeper than physical pain or repeated failure. Sometimes, it is grief that shatters a warrior's mind, loss that opens the door to madness. The story of Edgar and his daughter Irina illuminates this path from duty to despair, from honor to horror, showing how even the most dedicated soul can collapse when the weight of sorrow becomes too great to bear. Edgar serves as the castellan of Castle Morn, a fortress on the southern tip of the Weeping Peninsula. His duty is clear: protect the castle's inhabitants and guard the grafted blade greatsword, a legendary weapon held in the castle's possession. He takes this responsibility seriously, remaining at his post even when the castle falls under siege by misbegotten, those leonine creatures that have rebelled against their human masters. The situation is dire. The castle is overrun. His soldiers fight a losing battle, but Edgar will not abandon his duty, will not leave his post until the sacred sword is secure. His daughter, Irina, waits beyond the castle on the Bridge of Sacrifice. She is blind, vulnerable, terrified for her father's safety. She begs any passing tarnished to deliver a letter to Edgar, to tell him she survived, to ask him to come back to her. There is a desperation in her voice, a premonition perhaps, a sense that if Edgar does not leave the castle soon, something terrible will happen. She needs him. But Edgar, bound by honor and duty, refuses to abandon his post until the grafted blade greatsword is recovered from the leonine misbegotten that threatens to claim it. If you help Edgar, if you fight through the castle and defeat the misbegotten, if you claim the grafted blade and ensure it is safe, Edgar finally allows himself to leave. He returns to where Irina waits, ready to be reunited with his daughter, ready to bring her to safety. But he arrives too late. Irina lies dead on the bridge, an iron cleaver embedded in the ground beside her, blood staining her dress. The misbegotten, or perhaps other forces in this cruel land, found her while she was alone and defenseless. While Edgar remained at his post doing his duty, his daughter died alone and terrified, calling his name. Edgar collapses beside her body, overwhelmed by grief. He speaks of vengeance, of hunting down everyone responsible for this atrocity, of making them pay for what they have done to his innocent daughter. His voice trembles with rage and anguish. The dutiful castellan is gone, replaced by a father who failed to protect the one person that mattered most. All his honor, all his dedication to duty, amounted to nothing in the face of this loss. He remained at his post and lost everything worth protecting. What happens next reveals the insidious danger of the frenzied flame and how it preys on the broken. Edgar does not simply die of grief beside his daughter. He rises, but he rises wrong. The loss has created a wound in his mind, a crack in his sanity through which something dark and terrible seeps in. Later, much later, in a place called the Revenger's Shack in western Liurnia of the Lakes, Edgar appears again. But he is no longer the man he was. When you approach the shack, Edgar invades as a hostile red phantom, attacking on sight with wild aggression. He fights with the banished knight's halberd, spinning it with the spinning strike's ash of war, combining this with sacred incantations like Golden Vow. But his technique is frenzied, desperate, driven by something beyond mere combat skill. This is Edgar the Revenger, a man consumed by his need for justice, for retribution, for blood to answer blood. And when you inevitably defeat him, he drops a specific item that reveals what truly happened to his mind: a shabriri grape. The shabriri grape is significant. These cursed fruits are associated with the frenzied flame, with madness, with the influence of Shabriri himself, that ancient deceiver who tempts the broken and despairing. The grape's description notes that it is the result of despair and suffering, manifestations of the yellow flame of chaos. The fact that Edgar carries one suggests he did not merely go mad from grief. He was touched by the frenzied flame, whether through direct contact with the three fingers or through the more insidious spread of madness that radiates from places steeped in suffering. The bodies scattered around the Revenger's Shack tell their own story. Raw meat dumplings can be looted from corpses, suggesting Edgar hunted down and killed numerous people in his quest for vengeance. Perhaps some of these were misbegotten, genuine targets of his wrath, but others were likely innocent travelers, people who had nothing to do with Irina's death, slaughtered because Edgar's madness could no longer distinguish between guilty and innocent. His grief mutated into indiscriminate rage, and the frenzied flame fed on that rage, encouraging it, twisting it into something far darker. Edgar's story represents a specific form of giving up, the surrender to madness itself. He did not stop fighting. In fact, he fought more desperately than ever, but he gave up on being human, on maintaining his sanity, on distinguishing justice from mindless slaughter. The grief of losing Irina created a vulnerability, and the frenzied flame, always seeking cracks in human resolve, slipped through that vulnerability and consumed what remained of the dutiful castellan. This pattern appears repeatedly in the lands between. Grief, loss, and suffering create openings for the frenzied flame to take root. The nomadic merchants who were buried alive beneath Lanedale chanted curses of despair that summoned the three fingers, the Num. Villagers of the frenzied flame village, driven to collective anguish, manifested the yellow flame through their communal suffering. Even the Lanedale soldiers on Mount Gelmir, traumatized by the horrors of battle, developed frenzied eyes from the psychological wounds they endured. Wherever hope dies and despair reigns, the frenzied flame finds fertile ground. Edgar's fate serves as a warning to all tarnished. Your emotional wounds can be as dangerous as physical ones. The Lands Between does not merely test your combat skills and strategic thinking. It tests your ability to withstand loss, to maintain sanity when everything you love is taken from you, to keep fighting even when grief threatens to drown you. Edgar was a capable warrior, a dutiful father, an honorable man. But none of that mattered when his daughter died. The grief was simply too much, and in his vulnerability, the frenzied flame found another soul to corrupt. The cruel irony is that Edgar's dedication to duty is what enabled his daughter's death. If he had abandoned his post immediately, if he had prioritized Arena over the grafted blade greatsword, she might have lived. But he chose honor over love, duty over family, and the world punished him for that choice in the most horrific way possible. And then, in his broken state, the world offered him only one form of solace: the mad promise of the frenzied flame, the lie that burning everything away would somehow ease his pain. Edgar did not give up on becoming Elden Lord in any traditional sense. He likely never aspired to that throne. His giving up was more fundamental. He surrendered his humanity, his sanity, his very self. The man who was Edgar died beside his daughter on that bridge. What rose and hunted and killed in Liurnia was something else, something that wore his body and wielded his weapon, but had been hollowed out and filled with yellow flame and madness. This too is a form of failure, a way for Tarnished to give up on their journey, not through death or abandonment, but through transformation into something that can no longer remember what it once fought for. The weight of knowledge. Gideon's revelation. Among all the Tarnished who gave up on becoming Elden Lord, perhaps none did so for more calculated reasons than Gideon Ofnir, the all-knowing. Where others surrendered due to loss of grace, repeated failure, grief or madness, Gideon's abandonment of the quest came from the very thing he valued most: knowledge itself. He learned too much, glimpsed truths that were meant to remain hidden, and what he discovered shattered his ambition so completely that he spent his final moments trying to prevent any other Tarnished from succeeding where he could not. Gideon is introduced as the leader of the Round Table Hold, a figure of authority and wisdom among the gathered Tarnished. He calls himself the All-Knowing, and the title is not mere boast. Gideon has built an extensive network of spies, informants, and agents throughout the lands between. He gathers information on demigods, on the location of great runes, on the weaknesses of powerful enemies. Other Tarnished bring him their discoveries, and he compiles this knowledge, studying it, analyzing it, searching for patterns and insights that might reveal the optimal path to becoming Elden Lord. When you first arrive at the Round Table Hold, Gideon does not welcome you warmly. He acknowledges you as a visitor, but makes clear that you are not yet a true member of this fellowship. Only after you defeat a Shardbearer and claim a great rune does he recognize you as worthy of his attention and knowledge. Then, and only then, does he share what he knows about the other Shardbearers: Godric the Grafted, Renala Queen of the Full Moon, Starscourge Ra Dawn, Rykard Lord of Blasphemy, and Morgoth the Omen King. He provides tactical information, lore, context, everything a Tarnished might need to approach these battles with understanding, rather than charging in blind. Gideon presents himself as an ally, a mentor of sorts, someone who shares your goal of standing before the Elden Ring. He speaks of accumulating knowledge as the path to power, suggesting that true understanding is what separates the successful Tarnished from the failures. Unlike warriors who rely purely on combat prowess, Gideon believes that being all-knowing will grant him the edge necessary to overcome impossible odds. Knowledge is his weapon, information his armor, and he wields both with impressive effectiveness. But Gideon has a darker side that becomes apparent to those who look closely. He maintains that network of spies through ruthless means. The Omen Killer, in the village of the Albinorics, who committed atrocities against the Albinoric people, is implied to be one of Gideon's agents. When you acquire half of the Haligtree secret medallion, Ensha, one of Gideon's servants, invades and attempts to murder you to claim it, suggesting Gideon is willing to kill fellow Tarnished to advance his own goals. His adopted daughter, Nefeli Lu, discovers that he ordered terrible acts in pursuit of information, and he disowns her when she questions his methods. This reveals that Gideon's pursuit of knowledge is not merely academic. He is willing to sacrifice others, to commit atrocities, to betray trust and honor, all in service of accumulating the information he believes will secure his ascension. He is not a benevolent mentor, but a calculating manipulator using other tarnished as tools, letting them take the risks while he remains safe in the round table hold, gathering their reports, learning from their experiences, preparing for the moment when he can step forward and claim the throne built on foundations of others' sacrifices. But something happens as Gideon's knowledge deepens. The more he learns about the lands between, about Queen Marika, about the true nature of the Elden Ring and the Golden Order, the more disturbed he becomes. References appear in item descriptions and dialogue to Gideon, glimpsing into the will of Queen Marika and shuddering in fear at what he found there. This is not merely tactical information about demigods or the location of great runes. This is something fundamental, something about the very purpose for which the Tarnished were called back, something that shook Gideon to his core. The full revelation comes when you finally face Gideon as a boss in Leyndell Ashen Capital, after you have burned the Erd Tree and progressed far enough that his hand is forced. He confronts you in the Erd Tree Sanctuary, standing between you and your final approach to the Elden Ring. His dialogue is damning, his words heavy with terrible truth. "Ah, I knew you'd come. To stand before the Elden Ring, to become Elden Lord. What a sad state of affairs. I commend your spirit, but alas, none shall take the throne. Queen Marika has high hopes for us, that we continue to struggle unto eternity." And there it is, the knowledge that broke Gideon. He learned that Queen Marika does not want a Tarnished to become Elden Lord. The entire endeavor, the promise that brought the Tarnished back from death and exile, the guidance that points them toward the Erd Tree, all of it is a lie. Not a lie in the sense that becoming Elden Lord is impossible. Clearly, it can be done, given sufficient strength, but a lie in purpose. Marika does not want the quest to succeed. She wants Tarnished to struggle forever, to fight and die and resurrect and fight again in an eternal cycle of futile effort. This revelation destroys Gideon. His entire worldview was built on the assumption that becoming Elden Lord was the goal, that accumulating enough knowledge would allow him to achieve it. But if Marika herself, the goddess who shattered the Elden Ring, the queen who called the Tarnished back, does not actually want anyone to succeed, then what is the point? All his scheming, all his sacrifices, all the information he gathered, worthless. The path he was following leads nowhere because the destination was never meant to be reached. The description of his armor confirms his reaction. Knowledge begins with the recognition of one's ignorance, the realization that the search for knowledge is unending. But when Gideon glimpsed into the will of Queen Marika, he shuddered in fear. At the end, that should not be. Fear. Despite all his knowledge, despite calling himself all-knowing, Gideon was afraid. What he learned about Marika's true intentions, about the nature of the struggle itself, terrified him so deeply that he abandoned his goal entirely. But Gideon does not simply give up and walk away. In his final moments, he does something more destructive. He tries to ensure that no other Tarnished succeeds either. If he cannot become Elden Lord, if the quest itself is a cosmic joke, then he will prevent anyone else from completing it. He stands in your path and fights with everything he has learned, using spells and incantations gathered from across the lands between, techniques stolen from the very shard-bearers you defeated on your journey. He uses your own victories against you, turning knowledge into weaponry in a last desperate attempt to maintain the eternal struggle that Marika supposedly desires. When you defeat him, Gideon's final words are heavy with resignation. "I know, in my bones, a Tarnished cannot become a lord. Not even you. A man cannot kill a god." Even in death, even after being proven wrong by your very presence standing over his corpse, he clings to the belief that the quest is impossible. The knowledge that broke him remains his truth until the end. Gideon's story represents perhaps the most intellectual form of giving up. the surrender that comes from understanding too much. Where other tarnished fail due to insufficient strength or courage, Gideon fails because his pursuit of knowledge led him to a truth that made the entire endeavor seem pointless. He suffered from a form of analysis paralysis, gathering information endlessly because taking action required risking failure, and his failure would prove that knowledge alone is insufficient. The irony is thick. Gideon calls himself the all-knowing, but true omniscience would have revealed that Marika herself is not omnipotent, that her desires are not absolute law, that even a goddess's will can be defied by a tarnished with sufficient determination. If Gideon had simply acted instead of endlessly learning, if he had taken the risks he sent others to take, he might have succeeded. But he waited too long, learned too much, and the weight of terrible knowledge crushed his ambition before he ever truly began. His story warns all tarnished. Sometimes ignorance is strength. Sometimes not knowing the full truth allows you to attempt the impossible. Sometimes the greatest danger is not lack of knowledge, but possessing knowledge that makes hope seem foolish. Gideon gave up not because he was too weak, but because he was too informed. Not because he could not fight, but because he understood too well why fighting might be futile. And in trying to spare others from what he considered inevitable failure, he became the very obstacle he once claimed to help tarnished overcome. The frenzied flame. When hope becomes despair. Among all the forces in the lands, between that cause tarnished to give up, none is more insidious than the frenzied flame. This power does not merely defeat warriors or strip away grace. It offers something far more dangerous, an alternative to the impossible struggle, a promise that if you cannot fix this broken world, you can at least burn it all away. The yellow flame of chaos represents the ultimate form of surrender, the moment when a tarnished looks at the madness around them and decides that destruction is preferable to continuation. The frenzied flame manifests in the eyes of those stricken by grief, suffering, and despair so profound that it transcends individual anguish and becomes something collective, something cosmic. It is not fire in any conventional sense, but rather the visible manifestation of minds breaking, of sanity fracturing, of souls reaching a point where the only response to unbearable existence is to wish for oblivion. Those afflicted with frenzy develop yellow eyes that weep tears of flame, and they gain an insatiable urge to spread this condition to others, to share their madness as if company in suffering might somehow lessen the pain. The origins of the frenzied flame are murky, wrapped in ancient tragedy and divine mistakes. According to lore conveyed through Melina's interpretation of the Three Fingers message, all that there is came from the One Great. Then came fractures, and births, and souls. But the greater will made a mistake. Torment, despair, affliction, every sin, every curse, every one born of the mistake. And so, what was borrowed must be returned. Melt it all away with the yellow chaos flame, until all is one again. This philosophy is seductive to the broken. It reframes the suffering of the lands between not as individual failures or unfortunate circumstances, but as fundamental errors in creation itself. The greater will, in dividing the One Great into separate beings, into distinct lives and deaths, created the conditions for suffering. Individuality itself is the mistake. Separation, the source of all pain. The frenzied flame promises to correct this by burning away all divisions,